David Wright from Survivor Millennials vs. Gen X, and you're listening to Survivor Talk with Dwaine and David. I promise I'm not trying to find an idol. Also, does anybody know where I can find an idol?
Welcome to the show. We're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. My name is Dwaine, and I'm here with my always agreeable best friend, David. Hello, David. Talk while I get my camera fixed.
What's up, brother? Did we, I hate to do production in this conversation, but did we start recording?
Oh, crap. No. So we'll do that. We're going to start over.
I thought so.
Woo, y'all, I literally just finished watching the episode, so cut me some slack. It's like, hey, stop talking. I gotta get my picture up here. Hold on, put me up here.
You just click on the square and then you'll see the picture. Because if I keep talking, all you'll see is me.
Hey, you know what though?
Click on the what
are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm trying to keep my screen on the camera so you can't fix your camera. But if you click on it, it'll be just your camera.
That's right. Oh, look, my wife. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. All right.
But
no, whenever I select me, it doesn't go to you. All right, here we go again. Let's see if I can get
the thing ready for season 34, episode 1 recap. I am ready to start recording.
Oh yeah, I almost didn't do. That's the whole reason
That's why we stopped.
And I almost didn't do it. All right, here we go. Let me make sure I'm on the right. No, I don't want internal microphone. Golly. All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1, record.
Okay, I hope that I started on time because you didn't say start recording. You just said record.
Oh, shut up.
You want to do it again? No, I didn't start recording until right when you said record.
We always start on record.
So
all right, I stopped recording.
All right. So let me start recording before we say record. I hadn't started recording.
I don't want to. Oh, yeah. Okay. I am so stupid.
Wait a minute, knows?
No, I'm so stupid. Oh, my gosh. All right, new audio recording. We're supposed to hit record first. All right, I'm recording. Are you?
I am recording. Check. Yep, I'm recording.
All right. 3, 2, 1, record.
Record.
All right. Oh, here we go again. Oh.
Hi, this is David Wright from Survivor Millennials vs. Gen X, and you're listening to Survivor Talk with Dwaine and David. I promise I'm not trying to find an idol. Also, does anybody know where I can find an idol?
Welcome to the show. Again, we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. My name is Dwaine, and I'm here with my always agreeable best friend, David. Hello, David.
You've said that twice tonight. I'm so agreeable.
Yeah. Man, what the heck is wrong with your internet connection? I thought you had like lightning speed internet connection.
I don't know what it is because my other laptop just like lost the internet completely like 15 minutes ago, but it's rebooted back up. This one's back up. The problem is you can't allow because I'm in a bunker.
Well, that is
because this is the podcast room, but now it's also Gracie's come home to room, and we weren't ready for Gracie to come home to, so we've had to make some modifications really fast because my mother-in-law is now living with us. Yeah, it's like Gracie, we'll have a mattress, but the bed's on its way, and just take over the room. And then about an hour ago, I said, "Hey, I'm going in your room to," she goes, "Oh, okay." So I got the light I could quickly put together. I'm here.
Yeah, it's weird though. I mean, it's like your video is like really bad, and I'm wondering if did you set it to do highest quality or anything? Because it's really
I didn't change anything.
All right.
Let me see.
Well, we do want to say thank you to David Wright for doing this season's intro. He made 2, and that was just one of them. So we'll only play one at a time. Even number shows will get his second one. Odd number shows will get his first one. So So, David, did your TV recording device actually record Survivor last night?
I'm going to be honest. I checked like 3 times. It did. In fact, while I was at choir practice, I checked my Vios mobile app to make sure it popped up on my DVR. So yes.
All right. No. I got home last night like 15 minutes before it was over, and I went, okay. Connie and I were like talking and not really in a hurry or anything. So I got home about 30 minutes. So like 15 minutes later, we sit down, I push the TiVo button and go, oh, I didn't record Survivor. Even though I had a 1 pass that was for Survivor, it still didn't work. Anyway, so I was in panic mode. And so tonight I got home at like 5:30, which is like 3 hours before we record. And I watched it online and took notes. So I've only seen it once, and I took notes while I was. And the thing about taking notes while you're watching it is you don't get to see a lot of stuff, you know? So there's probably stuff that you saw that I didn't get to see. So
see, this was reversed because tonight we had a scrimmage, which we don't usually play on Thursdays. So this was like a one-night thing. But last season you had basketball, staying late till, and tonight I had soccer. So I got home about an hour ago. Fortunately, I've already seen it twice, like you said.
Yeah.
So
well, anyway, remember our goal was to get right to the show really quickly, but we're doing all kinds
this
of
is the
talk,
show.
So.
This is the show.
Well, thank you all for tuning in, whether you're watching live, watching later, or listening to the audio. We are glad you decided to fill your ears with our nonsense. If you're familiar with our show, you know we are a family-friendly podcast about Survivor. We have amazing fans and even more amazing wives, just in case they're listening. My wife doesn't listen, though. Does your wife listen?
So anymore.
I can't see. I didn't even hear you. The problem with your connection is I didn't get to hear you laugh. Yes, that's what it sounds like. Anyway, if you'd like to help support this podcast financially, you can go to stwdd.com/support and select the giving option that is best for you. And later in the show, during our feedback segment, we're going to find out what some of you thought about the episode. But now,
hold up.
It's time for David and I to share our thoughts, theories, and Thucydides. I can't even pronounce the Thucydides about episodes 1 and 2 of Survivor Games.
I wonder if my link went down because I added something to the notes and you skipped right over it as if it wasn't on your page.
There wasn't anything on my page.
The DR question.
What? Where?
Under dot, third dot.
Oh, David, did you have an update on fulfilling your wish to have a finale viewing party?
Dwaine, I'm so glad you asked. Yes, I do. Our worship pastor said, hey, I've never had a finale party. I'd already talked to like 4 or 5 choir members and said, hey, if we had it and I could get you at a choir, would you? They're like, yeah. And he said, okay, I'll just cancel that night. I said, wonderful. You're almost as good as the other guy. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway.
Who's that?
So yes,
who's that?
He said
Dwaine fellow?
That Dwaine's. So yeah, he said he's going to cancel that night, or he'll probably work on some specific stuff with certain groups. But yes, I'm going to have a Survivor finale viewing party.
Well, awesome.
So if you're in the area,
so anyway, I said it's time. What, David?
Say again.
Homeboy needs a new connection, y'all. He has Vios, which is like terabyte upload and download. Something is wrong because I can't hear hardly anything he's saying.
I think you just said, good thing I'm recording.
Recording. All right. So did you hear me say it's time for David and I to share our thoughts, theories, and Thucydides about episodes 1 and 2 of Survivor Game Changers?
I did just now.
Are you wondering who Thucydides or what in the heck it means?
I am now that I'm reading it on the page. Yes, I am kind of interested to know what that means.
Some guy that knew all about some war back then, but I needed another TH. So there you go.
Oh, yeah. Good.
All right. It's time for our episode recap. So here we go. Survivor Game Changers episodes 1 and 2, otherwise known as the premiere. The stakes have been raised, and I have no idea who said that.
Andrea said it as they were still paddling away from the boat.
Okay. It was Survivor's 500th episode, and it is our 292nd episode. So we are catching up.
Nice. Is that what all those 500 clips were about? Happy Survivor.
Yeah.
500th? That fled Facebook and Twitter and everything else. Cool.
Yeah. So, David, do you have any initial thoughts about the double episode, about the premiere?
I do. My first was song parody that can rhyme with Spy Bunker.
I can
Jack.
Understand. Okay. Yeah. I can't hear you. I mean, you keep breaking up.
Do you want me to disconnect, reconnect?
Well, I guess. Yeah. Because it's really bad. I mean, well,
Okay.
Let's ask in the group. Is it breaking up for them? Although I may not be able to respond to you, but is David breaking up for y'all? Oh, the spy hole, and I can't. Oh, I was going to ask you, did you see Tony in your bunker? Oh, they all say you sound okay. Oh, Mark says, yes, it's really bad. Yep, David is breaking up badly. So, David, you need to do something. Change rooms, whatever you got to do. Go away and come back. So, y'all, it's just me on Survivor Talk with D&D. On the audio version, you will not hear this part. If you're watching on video, keep pushing like 30 seconds forward until you see David on the screen again. Veda Girl, I don't know why you're the only one it sounds good to. Maybe everybody in your realm of friends talks like this, maybe. Cindy's breaking up for me. Dwaine is fine. That's right, Mark. You know what we ought to do? I mean, why not? Right? It's been like a couple of years and we're waiting on David. We can listen to Spy Shack.
Spy Shack Tony! Spy Shack, that's where Tony's at. Spy Shack, that's where Tony's at. Tony is a sneaking, Tony is a listening, wearing next to nothing cause it's hot as a mug. The whole shack shimmies cause Tony is a moving around and around and around and around. Everybody's talking, Tony is a listening, baby. Tribe doesn't know, Tony wants to get sound. Everybody's talking, Tony is a listening, baby. Private little shack, private little spy shack.
We're waiting on David. He had a really bad connection.
Look at my biceps, much bigger than yours, and I'm about to hear woo. I've got me a spot where I can be sneaky, so come on, and we can spy on Lindsay. The Spy Shack is a little hidden place where we can spy together.
Yeah, I texted Tony. He didn't text me back.
Spy Shack Tony.
I told him I really wanted him to do well. And I was disappointed.
Spy Shack, Tony Spy Shack. Spy Shack, Tony Spy Shack.
This is my favorite part. The woman who sings in this part is my wife. By the way, we're doing this because David's trying to get his thing together.
A little more sturdy, Tony.
Make the door, baby.
I can't hear you. On front. Make the door, Tony. On front. Make the door. On front.
All right, here it comes.
Make the door, baby.
My wife.
Your what?
Spy Shack busted.
Spy Shack, Tony Spy Shack.
Hey, David.
Spy Shack,
Hey.
Tony Spy Shack.
15 seconds left in the song.
Spy Shack, Tony Spy Shack. There'll be Spy Shack.
Yeah, Vader Girl, I cannot sell this for $1.99. It's kind of illegal.
Is this better?
You
You look a lot better. Is it coming through better?
Well, good. What did you do?
I just rebooted.
Oh, well, maybe that's all it took. All
Am I
right.
clear?
Share with us. No.
Okay.
All right. Vader Girl says boo. I don't think she's happy that you're back.
I can easily remedy that and go take a nap. Yes.
No, I can't do this by myself. You know that. I depend on you to fill in all those holes.
You can play parodies.
Vader
on that.
Girl
Go ahead.
says you sound phenomenal, but that means nothing coming from her because when you sounded like crap, she thought you sounded phenomenal. So,
Welcome back to Survivor Talk with D&D.
yes. Tina says David looks better, but not as good as Dwaine. All right, here we go. Initial thoughts. David, please share us your initial thoughts.
My initial thought is that I think Tina is actually Connie. And she.
Oh, shut up.
Okay.
My wife's downstairs watching Once Upon a Time or something.
Okay.
Boy, you do look a lot better, David.
I stopped that show. My initial reaction was that was phenomenal. I so enjoyed it from minute 1 to minute 120, whatever it was. That was intense. It just flew by. It didn't feel like 2 hours. That's one of my first ones. I thought it was phenomenal. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be a flip-flopper because I was the one that said I was not overly excited about another returning season, but I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was what I wanted to see, which is what I talked about preseason, in that I want to see how people play different. And you see a lot of people play different. Unfortunately, you saw some people play the same and it cost them.
And you also saw some people make some really rookie mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, and these are
exactly
supposed to be game changers. So anyway, well, I have one initial thought. And if you heard our last episode of Survivor Talk, then good for you. If you didn't, go back and listen to it. After watching the episode, well, no. If you read my Facebook comment last night, I probably still talked about this yesterday, but the other week. But anyway, if you read my comment last night, I only saw the last 15 minutes when I got home. So all I saw was Sandra, like, you know, the way she went after Tony. That's all I saw. I didn't know all the before stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I was like, man, she's so mean. I don't like Sandra. Right? That's what I was doing. But after watching this episode, especially the second half, I now see why Sandra reacted the way she did at the end of Tribal. She went head to head. Okay, this is head to head with a strong player, and she came out ahead. Right? So there's this really strong battle going on. It's like a big win. She's really confident. And then he makes a comment. So she decides to put him in his place. She was excited and confident, and it was pretty raw.
Yes, it
Salt
was.
in a gashing wound. Tony was bleeding, and she just poured salt in it. Not just regular salt, but sea salt. Just right in there.
That's the real salt right there. That is the real salt.
It's kind of like, you know, the high school team that's last in the league beats the number one team and they go crazy and talk a bunch of smack. Yeah, that's kind of the way it was.
That was probably the most physical initial reaction you've ever had.
Yeah.
That was almost a workout.
Yeah.
I think a little of it deep down. You know, in those places you don't talk about at parties, but deep down.
What?
That's the joke. It's from a movie.
I don't even want to know. Whatever.
I think it came from A Few Good Men. But anyway, I think there was a little part of Sandra saying, that's one more person that's never going to win twice. I'm still the only one to win twice. And JT, you're next. You're not going there either, buddy. I think there's a little part of her that says, you know what? As long as I take out Tony and JT, I'm still the queen, no matter what happens.
Yeah. Mark says Tony admitted he handled the confronting of Troyzan and Sandra wrong in his exit interviews, and that cost him the alliance they formed earlier. Absolutely. But we're going to talk about that later on in the show. So, all right. Do you have any other initial thoughts before we get to the pre-intro?
No, we've covered them.
Okay. Pre-intro. Here is the order of the players as they talked. Tony, gone. Malcolm, Sandra, the queen stays queen, she says.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the whole theme of the entire season until she's voted off or wins.
Mm-hmm.
Cerie spoke, and then I wrote, oh, yeah, she's the one that tricked Eric. So that gave me a little bit of more respect for Cerie.
Mm-hmm.
But later on in the game, all that went out the window. All that respect I had for the beginning, all went out the window. Debbie, tenacity like a giant squid. You know, David, when I think of tenacity, I think of giant squids.
I've never put those two together.
Yeah.
Ever
really.
put those two together.
I
But
eat
a-
squid.
But a squid and a gymnast, I have put those together.
What?
She said she has the strength like a gymnast and the tenacity of a giant squid.
Wow.
So those two, I've always thought those two did kind of go together.
Yeah. And then
I like-
Brad. I
Yeah.
think it was the only time we heard from Brad the whole episode.
No, we heard from him a little bit later, but he said go big or go home. I like Cerie's comment of a gangster with a smile. And
Yeah.
she's like, the only reason I'm here is to make the next step, and the only next step for me is to win. That's
Right.
all there is to it.
Well, then she needs to chill out if she wants to win. So
Yeah.
all right, we already did that. Then they had a very short intro. There's going to be a lot of people upset about that. Me, I don't give a care, but there's going to be a lot of people upset.
I wrote down a little bit about what Probst said because I don't really care. I mean, the intro. Why do you think they're going to be upset? Because they want to see faces?
There's always people that go, I want the full intro every single season,
Yeah. Not me.
which is fine. That's
I want more
fine.
games. I know who they are. I'm watching them play. So, yeah. I was just listening when the second time through when Probst said, welcome to the 34th season, and you all are handpicked because you have proven to make moves in this game. And then he qualified his statement.
Yes.
Bold moves, sometimes quiet moves, successful, legendary moves, sometimes disastrous moves that got you voted out. So
Yeah.
basically, anybody that showed up,
That's right.
stepped on the beach, raised their hand to vote, or did anything of that nature is technically a move. So
Yes.
they do technically qualify to play in this
Yeah.
season.
I thought that was funny too.
I couldn't help but write that down. I said, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Then they talked to Ozzy. Then they talked to JT. Sandra won't be the only two-time winner. Can I just give JT some advice? Don't say anything in front of Sandra. Just walk away.
It's what you said before. The 101 thing, the Survivor rookie thing, because he said a great line about, I don't think winning is going to matter. We're still here all just to play a game. We're all returning players. And then he said, I don't think then he came out and said he's going to win.
Yeah.
Or he or Tony's going to win. You're right. You don't want to tease the lion. When she's sitting right there 5 feet from you, you don't want to poke her.
Yeah. Tell you what, man. See, I don't really, well, anyway, I don't remember Sandra's games. Like I need to go back and watch them.
You do.
Her
They're
seasons because, oh my gosh. Wow. I liked, then it went to Cerie, her second time to be spoken to.
Mm-hmm.
So all you Cerie fans out there. And then Zeke, I'm kind of geeking out right now. Yeah, I guess he was. Then we got the Mana tribe and the Nuku tribe. We don't really need to go through their names, so we'll just move on. They got a boat loaded with surprise, and not a buttload of surprise, a boat loaded with supplies.
I was about to say surprise. I didn't see any surprises. There was one surprise.
Yeah. Why don't you talk and I'll just, as far as this, for this section right here, I've been talking a lot. Go ahead.
Just to add to your Sandra comment about going back and watching her, I love the clip they showed where Russell said, "You're either with me or against me," and she said, "I'm against you, Russell," and she just looked off. And that's how Sandra plays. Yeah. She's got bigger suitcases than half the people out there.
Yeah, she's bold.
I'll leave it at that.
Bigger suitcases. Nice.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Time to get started. So each team has a raft, just like in previous seasons. Take everything you want. And I love the next 5 minutes because it was chaos. Yeah. I loved it. And obviously you got to get the rafts down quick because you got to have a place to throw all this stuff.
Right.
And then you start going for items that and Probst pointed it out. You people should know what's really important in this game. And I expect you to go for it. And they did. And they got this big cage of chickens. And my gosh, when you finally saw them at the camp, there was a bunch of them. And I loved that it was Hallie, it was a Cerie, and I think it was Varner and Sandra, and they had it on the edge. And here comes Ty. Ty grabs the cage and pulls it into the water. And all they can say is, those are our chickens.
Yes.
And Ty's like, not anymore.
Uh-uh.
He doesn't say that, but they're his now. And he gets them on the boat.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you caught it because you only got to see it once, but did you catch Tony and I think it was Cerie kind of tugging on something?
No, because I was probably taking note.
Down in the water in Cerie's boat was Tony trying to pull something. If I'm not mistaken, Tony was in their raft trying to get something out. So that was pretty cool. And of course, we saw Andrea reveal the legacy advantage, but not pick it up, unfortunately. It was right below her. She stepped over it once or twice.
Oh, she didn't see it.
She did not see it. She did not pick it up.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't see that part because
Yeah.
I was typing or something.
Yeah.
I was going to say this. The chicken scandal is back.
Yes.
Last season, first episode or first day, we got the whole, thing that we talked about on that episode.
Who took my chickens? Right.
Right. We got the scoop on what really happened. Now, that's also on YouTube. And now we've got Sierra going, you took my chickens.
Yeah.
Second season in a row. That's right.
Absolutely. But now it kind of leaves the door open for future seasons. It's still open until it gets on the boat. Then again, if Tony stole stuff, maybe it's still open on the boat.
Yeah.
So,
and Probst kicked it back to the first season, first episode. This is how we did it back then.
Yeah.
And Ozzy gets to the cool toolkit first.
Yeah, I forgot to say that Probst said there is one other twist. You can go for the toolkit if you want it. And he wasn't specific to say everybody had to be with you or one person had to go, but I guess he was to a degree. So Ozzy, of course, takes off. And I love Haley says to Malcolm, I guess we're not going for the toolkit. And he's like, Ozzy's here. Who else is going to get the toolkit before Ozzy?
I wrote that. I wrote that. No one's going to get the toolkit. Ozzy's in.
Yeah, exactly. So even if Malcolm says that, because he would be, to me, one of the people that might go get it, but I don't know how he swims. Ozzy's a swimmer. Yeah. So good on Ozzy. He did what he did. But so they got the toolkit. They got the stolen chickens. They got loads of stuff. And to me, they got a moral victory because even Probst says, one tribe has a advantage over the other. I mean, if you look at the two boats taking off, the blue boat is happy. They got the big cage. They got the toolkit dragging with them. They're ready to go. They've got the challenge beast Ozzy. You look at the other one, and they're kind of like, we did okay.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's a morale killer to see the other one going off. And not only that, and I know I'm skipping a second, but they get the camp with goats. They got chickens, they got a toolkit, and they got goats. And this place almost looks like a resort.
Yeah.
It's not a stranded beach, but anyway, I'm going too far.
There's probably goats around everywhere. They just happen to see.
Yeah.
They're just
they're hanging out there.
Happen to have walked all over there. Now there was production going, shoo, goats go over that way. But that's
Yep. Exactly.
So Sierra found the secret advantage. Sierra with an S.
Mm-hmm.
We won't have to do that any longer.
I know. Kind of thankful for that.
Yeah. All right, Mana. Day one. Michaela, I'm going to get up to everybody. I'm going to get around everybody and kind of be up with them and have to hide my facial expressions. But she's trying to, basically what she's saying is I'm going to get close with everybody or at least talk well with everybody.
She's got a good plan because she is still going to be seen as the new kid on the block. Yeah. If anything, she's closest to a rookie than anybody. And she's right. I need to schmooze up to everybody, but I need to put on a fake face because I can't lie very well and I can't hide my facial expressions. Great plan. It lasts about 31 seconds, but it's a great plan that she has. I totally agree with her.
So there are some times that I try to tell a joke and I get crickets, right? Like no one. Yeah.
Well, when we get in that live studio audience, we'll probably improve.
So this is what Tony did. Tony tried something and it totally did not work. He was like, all right, I'm going to go get the idol. And he was thinking everybody was going to follow him and it was going to be kind of fun. And he was, nope. Instead, he just put a big target on his back.
I think he was 50-50 on that. And that if they come after me, I don't even know if he'd have turned around because he said that to them when they were there. But I still
he said it to the camera.
He did say to the camera.
They were going to come chase me.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's a whole topic unto itself. What choice did Tony have? I mean, his game is revealed in Cagayan.
Yeah.
What was he going to do different this time? Tony, of all people, is not going to get by saying, I'm telling you guys, I'm not going to play that way this time. I'm all about loyalty. I'm all about working together. They're like, no, you're not. To me, it was going to be really hard for him to play. Whereas with Sandra, there were other people that, like they pointed out all episode, that she's weaker in challenges, but she's won twice. Yeah. And they made really good points about that. I liked Haley actually getting a confessional about being the cobra among the snakes. These people are all snakes in the grass, but I'm the cobra that you're sitting on, and I'm going to get up and bite you. And I thought, okay, are we going to hear from her again? Is she going to bite somebody?
Yeah.
So
Then we move over to the Nuku tribe, and Zeke gets a confessional. I'm here to slay everyone. But look at this amazing tribe.
I'm gonna slay.
I mean, Zeke is like, oh my gosh, all my favorite players. How can I possibly vote them off?
That was funny because he's like, it's like he's almost like he's watching the game as a fan. He's watching these all-stars play, and I love what he said. So I want to get my hands dirty, lather myself in the blood of my enemies. But he said it with such a smile. It's like he couldn't take it, but so serious.
Oh boy,
no, Zeke, say that with a little smirk, like you really want to mean it. So
Cerise sees some goats, and I love what Culpepper said.
Yep.
To kill a goat, we'd have to kill Ty.
Pretty much. That's probably right on.
Yeah.
That's why the goats are there, because they know Ty will protect them.
Yeah. So Sierra looks at her advantage. This is interesting. I like it. It's a neat little what?
Can we say something before we get to that? Because it kind of plays into that.
Say whatever you want. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I didn't want to interrupt you without letting you know I was going to interrupt you, and I just did. So I really thought Sarah had a really good 2 hours. She wasn't put in a troubling situation because they didn't lose. But I thought Sarah had a lot of good things to say. She was in the right place a lot of times. And I liked most every time she talked. I liked because I wrote down stuff. And she feels like she has a good game. She feels like she can read people. And she feels like somebody is going to get anxious and feel as though they need to make a move. And as she's talking, they show Zeke. And it's funny because Zeke just gave us that dialogue about how I'm giddy, I'm excited, I'm around all these super people that I've been following for years, but at the same time, I'm going to bleed them all out and wash my hands in their blood. And I just thought that was interesting. I'm starting to watch that now, little things like that. And it's funny, but she said, it feels as though they need to make a move, which will put a target on their back. And then I'm going to be the silent assassin. And I like that. I like their comment because it was a little dark. The music was a little solemn, but then suddenly the music changes completely and we get rainbows and unicorns, and there's Sierra. So now go into your Sierra description of, or I'll go into it. She gets aside and she wants to read her advantage, which we all want her to read it too, because I think we all want to know if it's the same exact thing, which it's slightly different. So go ahead.
Well, it's a nice little twist. You have immunity. Here you go, immunity at 13 and 6.
Right. The last one was anytime, right? Anytime before 6? Yeah.
Yeah. So what's cool about this is when she gets down to 13, if she wants to use it, is it going to help her turn the game around? She can give it to anybody she wants, I would think. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
I would think so. So that really it's a good advantage because if she doesn't need it for herself, she can give it to somebody else. And you don't have the stigma of, I don't want to waste my idol, because you only have 2 times that you can play it. Right. So you have to play it. So that makes playing it less stressful.
Right.
Right.
I agree. The, oh shoot!
Whoa.
I had something to say to that, and But I like how she says this will allow me to play the way I wanted to play the first time around,
right?
And I want to play this time around. She talks about being good to work with guys. Yeah, she's a cowgirl, so she's used to working with men, so she's going to stay close to them. So she goes up to Culpepper, and says, "I'm so glad you're on my tribe." Okay, I'm not building any conspiracy theory here. But to me, this smells like I've met you before outside the game. I think your wife is amazing. We had a great chat. We had drinks or we had dinner. I'm so glad you're on my tribe because we connected at that restaurant or we connected at that party. To me, that's what it smells. Because who's going to connect with Culpepper unless you've met him outside the game?
I don't know.
Unless it was a great line.
Yeah.
But even Culpepper is not that slow to fall for that line. So I'm not putting it past them. They very well could have met outside the game. Monica's very popular, so I'd love to meet them both. But I'm just saying, I wonder if they've talked outside the game, not about this season, but just in general outside the game, getting to know each other.
Well, maybe.
34 seasons, yeah.
Well, maybe. I mean, I know Sierra was she was late to the party.
Right.
But But anyway, but back to Sierra, she is definitely like she's a cowgirl. She's always got the horses. You know, if you follow her on Instagram and stuff, she's like always with the horses, cowgirl type of girl.
Yeah.
And you know, I love watching Sierra play, and I hope she does well this time. So she was talking to Ozzy, right, about alliances, and then Ozzy was talking about you have to make big moves, and then he says you got to watch out for Siri, right?
Yeah. Now, what's funny about that was, well, I like what she said. We really got to see a side of her we didn't get to see on Worlds Apart. She flat out says, I know we need alliances. I know we need numbers, but you need a core. You need a one true, if at all possible, but you need a core within that alliance that you can work with. And I'm glad that she talks about that. Ozzy's maybe a good one to talk to, you know, especially now in the tribe stage. When he gets into the individual stage, he might not be the one you want to work with, but because he could get voted out. But I like that. This is what I expect from returning players. I want to hear this kind of talk, and I want to see them get together and say, look, are we doing it? Are we not doing it? Let's go for this. Let's make an alliance right now, and we'll lock in on it.
Yeah. Mana day 2.
One quick second.
Okay.
Just another funny clip. Because usually you asked if I'm done. Culpepper, when he went into his whole little confessional, which is I think the only confessional he got the whole show, talks about he's got to play. He wants to play with people like himself, and I think that's what he told Sierra. He admits he played too aggressive in the other show, but he wants to play what would Monica do, you know. And she's done well. She hasn't won, but she's done well. But he thinks she'd be slow playing right now. So he says, "I've got a long way to go, but I think I'm starting off on the right foot." And then we get a video. We get a goat slipping off the rocks.
Yes, on his left feet, slipping off on his left feet.
That's right.
So Culpepper saying, "I'm starting on the right foot,"
but his left foot is slipping
on his left foot. Culpepper's out of here.
I just thought it was funny. All
right. So I don't know if you noticed this, but at the beginning of Mana Day 2, Tony was by himself. So then he decides, well, if they're all going to be talking, I'm going to be working. And he goes to get some water, starts making his spy bunker.
Yep.
I didn't really think the spy bunker was going to work.
Boy, it's going to be deep.
You're laying down on your back with a bunch of palm fronds on you, or whatever they're called. Someone's bound to step on you or something.
Or at least
you can't see. All you can do is hear.
Right. Or at least start digging in your stomach. You know, if they see a pile of palm fronds, somebody's going to move them around and start digging.
Or what if someone's like out there throwing wood around, you know, and you can't see it, and all of a sudden, ooh, you know, you get hit in the head.
Or let's say, hey, look there's a burn pile right here. Let's just burn this pile right here and see what happens.
Oh boy. Anyway, Troyzan, of course. Look, I've already caught that guy. You know? Troyzan so much.
So we get the telling on Tony montage. There's a couple montages. So we get Troy tells Malcolm what he found. Malcolm is smart to realize if he's digging right there, he would have needed a clue. That's a pretty specific place. He tells Haley tells Aubrey, Sierra, and Michaela. And it's just funny. We had a couple different times, and Sierra had one later, a little montage going back and forth. This is like one of those mistakes. Sierra talks about Tony and about how she sees he's close to Caleb, who then we see slip on the rock and nearly break his hip. But she's excited to teach him a lesson. She talks about, she talks to Haley, Aubrey, Malcolm, and Varner about Tony looking for the idol, and calls him an option to be the first one voted out.
Right.
And the problem is, and Sandra does this expertly later on, why be the one throwing out names?
Mm-hmm.
You know, dictating. Why be the one trying to take the lead with all these strong, smart players?
Yeah.
And that's what she does.
Yeah. This was Sierra's big mistake.
Right.
And you know, early in the game, people are looking for anything.
Right.
And you start naming off people, and then they're all standing around the water cooler like, okay, who are we going to get off? Well, you know, Sierra's been talking about everybody, you know?
Easy name to call out. Right.
Right.
Malcolm does just that. He points out, hey, she's kind of throwing out names, you know, and Malcolm's, I like what he said. Like, look, I'm in a good spot right now. I don't want to lose this Zen feeling. And if she's going to start stirring things up, especially with people I want to work with, Tony's not his first choice, but he could see working with him, then she's got to go.
Yeah. And now, and then Malcolm, of course, we know what Malcolm's approach to Survivor is.
Mm-hmm.
I want as many strong guys in front of me because they become shields, right?
Yep.
So he's like, I don't want Tony gone. That's one more guy that has to go before I go.
Right.
You know? And so he's like,
Yeah, we got a really good strategy of that last season too with Adam, how he tried to keep Jay around for as long as possible.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So next we skipped a small section, but I don't know if it's next on your list. It's is it Nuku?
No.
Is that what they're called? Day 2?
Sanuku?
Sanuku.
No, it's not Sanuku. Wow. Nuku Day 2. Yeah, we've already talked about it, but go ahead.
No, this part we haven't talked about.
I thing.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you only watched it once, so I know you were rushing through. But Ozzy, JT, and Culpepper are working on the shelter. Suri is still worried about Ozzy. But gosh, you had to put us on the same tribe? Really? And they shake hands like, oh, that was just 8 years ago, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I seriously think Ozzy could care less. I know he's going to keep an eye on her, but he wants to win.
Yeah.
He wants to play to win.
Yeah.
Suri is one of those that constantly thinks about stuff like Tony, and she's going to
worried
about it. Right.
Yeah.
So
it's going to keep poking at her.
So Ty, JT, and Ozzy go to talk. They walk and talk, and they bring up Ozzy and Suri. This is what's so good about returning players. They know each other's history. They know what happened. So Suri, the girl that blindsided you, knocked you out of that fans versus favorites game.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? And Ozzy gives, to me, the most honest answer possible. I really like this answer here, and I really like Ozzy because of it. He says, well, it wasn't so much Suri. It was my people. They blindsided me. They decided to take me out, and she went along with the group. He says, I can't hold that against her. This is important, Ty. Listen to English. I can't hold that against her. She's just not when he tries to convey things, it comes across broken sometimes. Right. So I can't hold that against her. She's just not a physical player. So I don't hold against her that she blindsided me. I do hold against her that she can't necessarily contribute in challenges. And that could be a reason to vote her out. Great. Mm-hmm. So I don't mean to accuse Ty of not speaking good English. He just picks up words here and there. Then we get Ty going to Suri.
Yeah. It's almost like they said, okay, now go to Suri.
Exactly. I'm telling you, this is how it works. We've got to get Ty with Suri. Somebody call Ty over there and get him talking to Suri.
Suri, do you want to go get some fish? Yeah, over there by that Ty guy. Yeah.
And Ty, turns out, is a fan of Suri, would love to work with and help her. But I hope you get everything straight with Ozzy. Because he just told me everything's absolutely fine. He has nothing against you, but I hope you get everything straight with him.
Yeah.
I just have a vibe. So she asked him.
Yeah. Ask me the question and I'll be Ty. Go ahead.
So Ty, you talked to him this morning. Did you get a sense that I need to talk to him and work things out? We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Yeah.
Ty, you're not answering.
I can't lie, but well. And then she keeps asking him questions. He's like, stop.
He's like, I got a vibe. I got a vibe from him. Then she goes, you got a vibe just from talking to him this morning? Another commercial break. And then we come back. Suri says it doesn't matter if it's an hour later, but there will be blood, followed by a shark attack on small fish out in the water. Yeah. And to me, that's just so if Ty were to come out and say, I did that on purpose, I'm just trying to light the fire between those two so it stays off me, I would love it. I can't buy that Ty did that on purpose. That's Ty being honest, Ty.
No, that doesn't even, I mean, like, if you, no, that's no.
Come on,
defend it. It's not possible.
Defend it.
There is no defending that. I mean, no. I'm sorry.
Seriously, I thought we were going to a commercial break. I thought the picture froze and we were going to a commercial while he was standing there.
Nice. All right. First episode's immunity challenge on day 3. As soon as Prope said digging, Caleb threw his arms up and said, really?
The first?
We're going to dig in sand?
Yes.
So anyway, of course, all the first stuff is moot because why? It's all about that puzzle,
Yeah, it comes down to the puzzle.
Yeah.
And
it's all about the puzzle.
And we also get something interesting that we've never had before that I don't remember before. Before the challenge even starts. Yes. Prope says, I want to tell you about a twist that may or may not happen. but I'm going to tell you anyway.
May or may. Oh, yeah.
And we're what you think of it, and whoever has the best soundbite gets to be in the episode.
That's right.
Is like a TV personality now, or online personality. Very smart, very articulate, and she gives a great
Andrea's
answer.
got this.
Yes, it worries me. Splitting the vote is dangerous now because you could be the one pulling the rock. It's a basic answer, but it's exactly right.
Yeah. Well, why don't you tell what the twist is?
The twist
for those
is
that didn't. Maybe they didn't get it.
the twist is there is no more revotes after ties. After a tie, and I know I'll be corrected if I say this wrong. The people that voted have to come up with a unanimous decision as to which one of those people that's involved in the tie, which it could be 3 people, but which one of those people is voted out. Unanimous decision. If they don't, straight to rocks. The 2 people that had votes are safe. Everybody else draws, except for unless there's somebody with the immunity win from individual or something like that.
Yep.
No revotes. We go right to a debate, right to a discussion, and then we go right to rocks if they can't make unanimous decision.
You know why they did that, don't you? It's not really a twist. It's just this whole revote thing's a pain in the butt because everybody keeps their vote the same, and we're just wasting time.
Waste of parchment.
This goes straight to rocks.
Exactly. I mean, waste of parchment, but it also sometimes could take out the split vote. You know, because there are very few instances, but there are times when it could come up that a split vote could hurt you, could put you on a bad situation. But I don't think even a split vote, you're still going to vote out one person or another. You just look at each other, but then anyway, it's got to be unanimous. So that's how it plays.
Yeah. So during the during the challenge, which I don't particularly want to go through every single step of it, so I won't. But during the challenge, I love how Varner he'll say whatever he wants to Probst. I ain't panicking. Don't you throw me that beep, you know.
I loved it.
Goes, you look like it to me.
I loved it. And I thought about what you said a few minutes ago about any little thing could bring your name up for a vote out, to be voted out. And if we're looking back at that challenge, you and I are sitting talking, looking at that challenge, say, you know what? Sierra did lose that challenge last time to her mom. She lost it again, but she still tried. She got started late. Sandra tried her best. I mean, who really messed up? I mean, Haley dropped the keys when she untied them. She didn't quite get there fast, but you know what? Varner was panicking a little bit. I mean, according to Probst, he was panicking, and we don't want that on a future challenge. If we really have to vote somebody out, what about the person that panicked? You know, can we trust that person? Varner was absolutely right. Do not put that label on me. I am not panicking. These keys don't work. There's the wrong keys. You gave me the wrong keys, but Varner was right, and I felt bad for him because Probst labeled him. He gave him a bad label, and that's almost not fair. But that's sometimes Probst being too, I guess, descriptive of what's going on. But that was my thought, is what you said like about 10 minutes ago. It doesn't take much to put you on somebody's radar.
Right.
And if I think you're going to panic in a challenge, you're not going to last to my next challenge.
Yep. Yeah. He does it later on in the game too.
Yep.
So Nuku wins immunity. And who gets the last confessional?
The last confessional is it Malcolm?
No, that's the second. No. Sierra.
The
one who goes home.
Yeah. I don't want to be the first one gone in the season.
No, I don't either.
I love that Varner is 0 for 3 on the first challenges of all his seasons.
Yes.
He points that out when they get back to camp.
Yep. All right. Mana, day 3. Varner wants to keep the tribe strong. Boy, we hear this every single season, don't we?
Yeah. Strength.
Yeah. Tony, Caleb, Aubrey, Varner, and Malcolm talking at the water hole. Mm-hmm. Again, Sierra is the only one talking about names.
Right.
You know, which is another reason why when there's a bunch of people around talking, you want to get in there so you can stop them talking about you before they talk about you. Sierra got there like 5 minutes too late.
Yeah. But who does get there in time? Sandra. Yep. And she walks up to a group of people talking that she knows what they're talking about. And they say, what are you thinking? She says, what are y'all thinking? And Tony says, no, we want to know what you're thinking. You know, what names are you thinking? And Sandra says, well, tell me the names you're thinking, and I'll tell you how I feel about those names.
Yep.
Because if those names are standing here, I love them. If they're not here, I would vote any of them out.
Right. I love the way she handled that. Because Tony was trying to put her on the spot. No, you don't get to. She's like, don't tell me how to play this game. I'm the queen.
If we're keeping tabs, point for Sandra.
That's right.
Great play.
That's right. Oh, let's see. So Sandra walks up, whatever y'all are doing. Sierra walks up. Taylor, it's Michaela.
Yep.
Sierra's like, see, I believe them.
It. Sorry. Yeah, she fell for that one pretty quick, but the logic is there. She's an outsider. We don't know Michaela, so that. But I love the scrambling. Varner goes to walk away, and they're like, no, don't be obvious. Don't walk away. Let's just. And I think it was Varner said, Michaela, tell her Michaela.
Yeah.
Good, quick name. Somebody that's not in the group, obviously. You don't pick somebody standing there. Tell them it's Caleb. Oh, no, wait, Caleb, not Caleb. He's standing here.
Yeah.
So that was good.
So, David, knowing Michaela, they should have picked another name because Michaela does not take kindly to being put out there as the other option just for the sake of the vote. No. This is Michaela.
The problem is those 9 people do not know Michaela.
It's true.
Poor things. They do not know Michaela.
Yeah.
But they know her now, and they know how she feels about things, because from our, couch potato position, we're like, Michaela, it makes sense. She will believe that you are the one because you're the outsider, and somebody's got to take one for the team. You being the rookie, say, you know what, that's fine. She can throw my name out there. We'll get rid of her, and we'll go on from there. We'll play. I ask that y'all not use my name again because it just makes me nervous. That that would be the easy response. But you know what, Michaela's got a point. Stumbled across an idol and got wind of something. Guess which one vote's going to count at tribal, and that's Michaela's name. Now, Michaela handled it very badly. She's got a resume now of how she handles things like this, because
she even said I overreacted. Yeah.
Yes, she did immediately, but it's out there. There is no strike that comment from the record jury, from a courtroom. It is out there, and they know.
Do you remember one of the things that I really like about Michaela? Just if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't.
I don't. I know you like her, but I don't remember one particular thing.
Well, for example, somebody, I don't remember her name, and I apologize to you, commented on our last show on the YouTube that I clearly don't like Suri and things like that. Basically, I told her, once I found out you liked her, it was kind of like a bantering thing. So it kind of, made it more fun. But what I really like about Michaela, and this came up in the comment, because she said I compared Suri's smile to Michaela's smile and said Michaela's was better, which is odd because Siri's smile is amazing. Why do we have to have a Siri, a Sierra, and a Sierra?
Why don't we do like Debbie and call her Shuri?
No. Because apparently anyway. So one of the things I love about Michaela is her sassy comments in confessional. I love them. You can't contain greatness, she says. I love it. Absolutely love it.
That was
so
good.
Anyway. That was a long lead up to that. I apologize for that.
But that's what we like about Michaela, and that's what we like about Survivor. We want confessionals that are honest and blunt. Zeke is great in confessionals because he tells you everything. That's what we want to hear. We don't want to hear that. Sorry, but Ozzy gave a very by the book answer. This competition is going to be fierce. Sometimes you got to make big moves. Sometimes you got to take risks, but you really got to take big moves to win this game.
Yep.
Have you been waiting 8 years to say that? Or I know he's played in South Pacific since then, but that was just a generic name and answer. But they come from the school of tell it like it is. So they're so loved, and Ozzy's loved, but I just thought that was kind of a by the book answer he gave.
Right. So here I'm thinking. Now I already knew Sierra was going home because Sandra said, "Say hi to Sierra for me," right? And I wasn't bright enough to notice she wasn't there. So I don't even know who's on my D&D challenge team. So
that's right. I don't either.
That was just CBS trying to throw us off. There was no way in the world they were going to vote Michaela off just because she got a little perturbed that they put her name down as the optional. I mean, there's no way. So I would like to think that I would have seen this coming. But you know how I am about people that say CBS made it clear she was going home. I wasn't fooled at all. So I guess anyway.
But the second time around, you got a whiff of it, I would think.
Yeah. Why don't you start on tribal council for me?
Tribal council. Only a few good things were said. I like Probst asking, how big a part do you think impressions from the past will play in this game? And he asked, to me, one of the smartest people out there, Aubrey. I think we're all looking at each other and saying, okay, this is the person I saw on TV, and trying to figure out if that's exactly what we thought they were or if they might be a little different. Because if somebody comes out and plays different than they did in the previous season, that's what's going to throw you off. Am I seeing the real Varner? Am I seeing a new Varner? Am I seeing the Varner from Australia? What's so great? And she's exactly right. I love her answer. I thought it was really smart. Caleb feels his empty resume can help him because people won't know what he's capable of. You're saying, I'm capable of great things, but you all don't know. Wait a minute. I guess I just told you all that, but you all don't know that because you
I have an advantage because they don't know how awesome I am. Okay. Bad idea.
I can sing. I can wear a hat really well. I can wear boots and for walks. I'd like to see that resume filled out a little bit, just to see what he can do. I've never seen Big Brother, and I'll never watch another episode of Big Brother, so I don't know anything about him. But I'll be interested to see what he can do in this show. Yeah, because I don't think we've got enough of him. I don't think we've got enough. This was his first tribal council ever. He's never been to tribal till now. So this now he's been to 2 in one show.
You know, there is something that you do know about Caleb.
What's that?
He's got a big old belt buckle.
He does.
Yeah,
he does.
You wouldn't want to try to hit him in the gut because you'd hit the belt buckle.
Break your fingers. Exactly.
Yeah.
Michaela hopes that she's made a great impression, but she knows she's not playing with people that want to be her friends. Like somebody has got to go, and she thinks it would be punkish for the first vote on Game Changers to be an easy one, meaning herself. And Probst calls out that as being a very smart and mature answer.
Yes.
And of course, he brings it to Sandra, and Sandra plays up. I love Michaela. She's great. I've loved playing with her. As if too bad she's got to go just to make Sierra think it's not her.
Right.
So
I love Sandra. Look, I'm the perfect person to go to the end with. If you want $1 million, do it this time and do it with Sandra.
Yeah,
I love her.
Exactly. Who's going to give me a $3 million?
Yeah.
Oh, you are? Oh, okay. I'll take it.
Yeah. You get to the final 2 or final 3 with her and you see who gets the $1 million.
Exactly.
You know?
She'll just sit there and say, how did I get here? How did you people let me here? I am here.
Yeah. And then what is who is it? And what does Haley do? Pretty much tell everybody who the 2 people are.
Yeah. It comes down to challenge weakness and people getting their feathers rustled. Loose lips sink ships. And I'm not sure if Sierra thought it was her or Sierra was just totally confused as to what that meant. So Haley's a cobra.
No, I'm not sure.
She's worried about loose lips sinking ships.
And then I loved Michaela's answer. I'd be surprised if I got out of here without 1 vote against me. In other words, I'm the only person that's going to vote for me is the person going home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
And I didn't really get the title Sandra made, The Unknown. I was kind of expecting something more.
I think Probst
like
was too. He was probably
a Sandra Day or something.
Yeah. A day with Sandra.
Or Sandra's show. Now on the episode, they called her Sandra. Probst did too. So I'm going to call her Sandra.
All right.
So Denise, Jason, Sarge's wife, is in our chat room.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Sarge. Hi, Denise. By the way, Sarge needs to call me back. I was trying to help him with his podcast. He hasn't called me back yet. But anyway, Denise wants to know, why is he on Game Changers talking about Caleb? Because I think the last time he was on the show, he almost died, and Probst said, you're going to be back.
Yes.
So now he's back.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeff even said in last night's episode that no one knows what kind of player he is. Hello, he's not home. That's what Denise says.
He's a game changer.
Yeah.
That's why he's here.
I'm not really sure how he changed the game. I do. I do know how he changed the game.
How?
Did you know how easy it was for them to find the stuff in the sand this time?
Yeah.
That's how he changed the game.
They made
it a lot easier this time.
They did find it a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Good point.
Like no 2-hour sand digging this time. We're going to make it really obvious. Everything's 6 inches below the ground.
And it won't be 100. It won't be 100 square feet. It'll be 10 square feet of sand you got to dig through.
Yeah. And yeah, anyway. Wow.
That's true.
Patrick in the chat room says he changed from Big Brother to Survivor. That was good. Oh man. All right, it's time to vote. And Malcolm primps for the camera. Did you see that when he walked up to vote?
Yes.
Like,
how'd you like the voting booth? Was that a tower or something? That was
yeah, it's like a little room.
Almost like a set, like they're still in Hollywood or something. Yeah.
Do you remember that season when they had this island that you went to, and you could either go try to find the hidden immunity idol, or you could stay in this nice little hut?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just grabbed that hut and took it onto the tribal council area.
I think that was the first Blood versus Water, because I remember them, Russell and Candace, in that hut.
Anyway, so they're voting. Let's see. Sandra says the queen stays queen, and adios.
And Prope says blind sides never go out of style. I don't think that was a real blind side.
I don't either. I even wrote that down. That wasn't really a blind side.
Prope says it, and everybody looks at him like, nah, I think she kind of knew she was going.
Yeah. Blind side. What's your definition of a blind side?
Blind side is ratings.
Last season had some blind sides.
Yeah. Yeah, this time it was ratings. Right.
Yeah. All right. All right. So it is now Mana, day 4. Sierra went home.
I love this because this is straight out. This is blunt. This is honest. Tony says that was a smooth tribal, and it's never going to happen again. We're never going to get anything that cut. He gets with Aubrey, talks about how says, look, we're now 9. It's going to be 5 and 4. We need our 5. Let's get our 5, lock it in, and be done with it.
But see, Tony should have learned from day 1. I mean, he should have learned from day 1. He's not going to be able to do this. He's cutting his own throat by becoming this, I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to make something happen. Not with this group. Not with this group.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. What choice did he have? Nobody. Is anybody going to believe? See, what is he known for in the community? Is he known for being a straight up guy that invites you to his home, just a nice guy to be around? Or is he known for somebody that I don't think I think he actually went back home and just kind of got away from it all for a while. He's not necessarily tied in the group. Tony, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he went home and just avoided everything. Yeah.
He had nothing to do with Survivor for a while.
Yeah. So this is a guy they don't know, but he comes back and, like you said, makes that first big jump of running after the idol and not coming immediately back saying, guys, why aren't you chasing me? Then come back to the group. That would have been funny. That would have been, oh, that's just Tony being Tony. But you're right. If anything, he needs to go up to somebody and say, what do we do from here? Go up to Malcolm and say, who do you like? Who do you like? What do we want to bring in? Dictating is just tough. But at the same time, what choice did Tony have? How could he really have played different?
He had a lot of choices. Don't be out front. Don't be the center of attention. Do what other people do early in the game. Sit back and let other people do that role. It worked for you last season that you played, but day 1, you saw that they weren't going for it. So you should have just held back.
I agree. And what I'm saying is
to see you play longer, Tony. I really did.
Yeah, we both did. But what I was saying was episode 1 in the books. What does he do from here? I agree. You lay back and you just approach somebody and say, what's going on? What are you guys thinking? Everybody wants to be asked what they think. Everybody loves to give an opinion. Ask them what they think instead of dictating.
Yeah, he starts doing what Sierra did and it just didn't work. Oh, and he even talked to Sandra. And Sandra liked him. She thought, hey, we can probably do this. Two winners. We could do well. However, I loved her answer. Are you with me? He said. And she said, yeah, if we can benefit each other, I'm in. That's not a commitment.
No.
That's if I think it'll work for me.
Exactly. She says, I'll be glad to work with Tony so long as it plays into my game of anyone but me.
Right. But she also told him. So she said that to the camera, just like you said. But she told him if we could benefit from each other, yeah. If we can't, no. He just didn't say that part.
Well, right. I think, I don't want to insult Tony or anything, but he's telling her the right lines. But Sandra's a really hard person to get lines across on. She's just too savvy, in my opinion, to do that. He's like, I don't want to go with anybody but a winner, because the only way a winner wins is sit next to a winner. So the 3 winners got to go. And Sandra's like, yeah, I could do that, but I need to be the strongest one there. So maybe you two don't need to go there.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Like, for example, Timothy, my youngest son, really good singer, incredible singer. And, you know, around here, he's probably one of the best. He's going to go to college at University of Mobile. And I was like, Timothy, you're not going to be the best anymore. There's a lot of people there. And there's going to be somebody there that's probably a little better than you, and you can't act like you're the best. And that's what happened.
But what if he is?
Maybe. Tony, who's really good, went up against Sandra, who's really a lot better. And he just didn't win out. And he admits that, you know?
He admits it at Tribal, that his style of play worked with novices, but this is a different level of people. I don't know if it was the first or second Tribal. He said that in. But yeah, he admits it.
All right, here we get to Ty. Ty decides that working with the chickens is, I mean, it's like he doesn't come to Survivor to play Survivor. He comes to Survivor to play with chickens, right? It's like the guy that went hunting for bears and the bear ends up saying, you're not here for the hunting, are you? That's a different joke. I'm not going to tell it. But that's what Ty is in Survivor for, to play with the stupid chickens.
Yes. To tend to them, to join with nature and just be part of the world out there.
He's naming them. He wants to keep them alive. He wants to tells Caleb, or TJ, you're cutting too much corn off the corn cobs. We need to leave some for the chickens.
Exactly.
Like, what? You're feeding the chickens more than we're getting fed.
And I think JT gave us a very prophetic comment when he said the chickens will eventually hurt Ty. It might not be JT that leads it, but somebody's going to cause those chickens to hurt Ty.
I think everyone seemed annoyed. At least that's what they showed us, right? Because when you're in Survivor and you get a thing of chickens, it's not so you can play with them. It's so you can eat them.
No, you're supposed to play with them. Now, I don't know how long it takes a chicken to lay an egg, but do you know how long it takes a chicken to lay an egg? Is it hours? Because that's the only reason I would keep a chicken.
It's like, ploop. I don't know how long.
I mean, till they can lay another egg. That's what I'm saying. Till they lay a second egg. Because I'm with Debbie. I'd give about 24 hours, and those chickens are going to look like Angus cattle, and they are going to be on a pit somewhere roasting and being eaten very soon. I mean, what is Ty?
Some necks.
Part of a challenge? Who can have their chickens last the longest, and he wins immunity from that? I don't understand, because JT's a good old boy. He's one of the nicest guys you probably meet out there, and he frustrated JT to the point of him saying, "You care about more of those chickens than you do about us." That's not going to happen. Well, so we got to vote you out. You're not taking your. Ty's going to try and take his chickens. He's going to take them to tribal council and try and take the chickens with him.
Well, Mark in our chat room has figured out the reason. He says Ty is hoping Sia will give him another 50 grand.
Wow. That could happen, but
all right. Anyway,
that's not worth it.
Mana, night 4. Tony, who we know never sleeps.
Right.
He told us when we interviewed him. If you haven't seen that interview, it's like 3 hours. It's amazing. Tony gets up. He doesn't ever sleep. He gets up to work on the spy bunker, and I love it. Troy's in, doesn't know he's gone. Doesn't know Tony's gone. Hey, Sandra, you want to go talk? Let's go talk. And
hey,
Sandra's like,
absolutely. Yeah, I was just saying, absolutely. You want to go talk? Absolutely. Let's go talk.
Yeah. So they go to talk. And Tony, I'm sorry, Tony, but I love you. But this was really funny to watch. It's like
on the ground.
Right. And he's listening. I heard my name. What are y'all doing? Except he's not a country boy, you know. It's funny. Troy's Ed tells one story. Sandra tells another story, but they're sticking by it. You know, but Tony made too big of a deal about that.
He did.
Out of it, right?
He did. I wish they had said something to the effect of, we wanted to get away from so-and-so so we could talk about him. What do you think of this person? You know, come up with a quick lie, but you're right. You're not going to sell Tony on. We're watching the tides and we're talking about crates away from the fire.
Well, the problem is when he approached them, Sandra was had already walked off. And so Troyzan gave his answer and Sandra didn't hear it. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
comes back up. They couldn't get their stories together, or the other one go, "Oh yeah, yeah."
But he disrespected Troyzan by just laughing in his face. No, you're not. No, you're not. And he turned around and looked at Sandra. What's going on? What's going on? That's where Sandra was pointing out this guy is nothing but paranoia. And that worked in Cagayan, but it doesn't work in this type of season. I don't play that way. And he is nothing but paranoia and is driving us crazy. I thought was funny was that Tony said he saw Troyzan and Sandra. I'm like, no, you didn't. You saw the cameraman. Because you're not going to catch them in the dark. You saw the light that was following them, or at least some sort of light from some battery pack, and you saw where they were. But anyway, I wish
because they use night vision. They have night vision cameras.
there is something to help them get around. They don't walk around in the pitch dark. But anyway,
I walked around in the pit. Well, no, I had a little light on my head.
Exactly.
So
but anyway,
did y'all see me coming with the light on my head?
Yeah, yeah. But it was hilarious the way he crawled down, and I thought it was going to work. I'm like, dude, why are you popping up? Let them talk and gain all the information you can get. Find out your status.
Yeah. Well, the reason why is because the season he played in, that worked for him. He could confront people and it would throw them off their game. But dude, this is Troyzan and Sandra. You're not going to throw them off their game.
Right. And you don't have
So
Trish and friends waiting for you back at camp to vote the way you want them to vote.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's not that Tony was outplayed as far as in this area, is that Tony was playing with people at least as good as he is. And he's not used to playing with people that are that good. So he kind of played as though they weren't as good as they are. And it kind of backfired, especially in this situation. All right. So he's trying to strong arm Sandra, and Sandra's like, and you're going home. It's like once Sandra says you're going home, either get on your knees and beg her for forgiveness and kiss her toes, or just pack your bags.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
When Sandra speaks, I like that Troyzan said something about Tony. He's a threat. So who's gonna want to work with Tony? And Sandra goes, you might be surprised. Like me, I was thinking about it.
Yeah. By the way, I thought my wife was going to change my chalkboard, but she didn't.
I was gonna say that's the same as last time. Yeah.
It's been like there since December. I gave her something to put on there, and I'm going to have to get on to her. She was downstairs watching TV. Anyway, Nuku, day 5. JT and Ozzy. Now, this is a pair I can see working. You?
I can, because they're two very strong competitors. I mean, two strong challenge people. So if the tribe's going to stay together, I can see them lasting, but I could also see them being split up if Suri gets her way, but we'll find out more on that later.
Yeah.
I do like this pair. I do like this pair. Yeah.
Yeah. I like this pairing because JT's really good. Ozzy's really good. You know, I mean, JT's a farm guy.
Yeah.
They can go forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Suri is sitting there looking at Ozzy, making friends with people. I mean, it's one thing that he's on her radar. It's another thing that he's starting to make relationships. And she even says, I got to talk to people because I can't play this game by myself.
Right. She's getting really paranoid.
Yeah. She needs to weed out people and see who she can play with.
Am I remembering this correctly, that one of the times that she did really well is because she just kind of sat back and watched, or is that somebody else I'm thinking about?
The first time she played, she was the one that just got off the couch and came out to do it and didn't want to touch anything, pick up anything. I'd have to watch that first season again. But in Micronesia, she strategized a lot. She played really well in Micronesia.
Well, she's nervous. And I mean, just in all seriousness, she just really, I think, is hurting herself. You know,
I agree. I wrote down, we're now getting to the Suri talking to everyone and anyone montage.
Yeah.
Because we get clipped. And once again, and our first one is Sarah, and she comes right out and says, you know, we haven't talked a lot, but I've done that on purpose because I didn't want people to see that we were blatantly working together and talking together. That's and right. Sarah's like, oh, is that why we're not talking?
Oh, yeah. Hey, did you notice that everybody she talked to, they showed us afterwards them saying, I'm not going to stay with her. Or
that's at the bottom of my notes. Yeah, that's at the end of this section. So, but we'll get to that in a second.
I like what Sarah said. Last time I played as a cop, this time I'm playing like a criminal.
Yep.
This whole my word is bond stuff is no longer true.
Exactly. I'm telling you, I liked everything Sarah said. She sounds like a different player. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Suri has a great talk with Zeke. They feel good about each other. Zeke calls Suri a mystical player. She has this quality that draws you in. And Suri admits that Zeke is smart. How do you know Zeke is smart? it's day 5, but I guess you could find out. But they say they're solid. And Zeke says off camera, I want to work with her, but I also know she's probably the most dangerous person out here. And his gut tells him it's too early to align with someone that everyone is gunning for. This is important because this means, because she notices that Zeke has talked to a lot of people. Zeke is geeking out, but Zeke is also playing the social game.
Right.
And Zeke has already heard he's seen or felt the wind in the air, and the rumors go that Suri is on quite a few people's radar.
Yeah.
I'd love to work with Suri. She could help me get far, but I'm not sure I want to align at this point with somebody who so many people are gunning for.
Yeah.
That was a great edit, I thought, that told us a lot. Like you said, that was strike 2.
I like what Debbie says. I have a BS detector and it's going.
That was strike 3. I mean, that was so great that we got this montage of her going all these people, and then each person comes back with, "No, I don't think so."
Right.
She goes to give her advice. I love it.
So let me ask you this, because you and I did banter a lot about Suri.
Mm-hmm.
And you were kind of like, hey, I really like Suri. So I was like, okay, well, then let's go for it. Are you disappointed? I mean, what's going on? Is she not doing what you expected?
Well, she is another person that comes in with baggage. She was the sweetheart of the first season she played to get out there in the woods and do things she's never done before. The second time she played, she was part of the Girls Alliance that really took out the guys and did well. And I'm disappointed in the sense that it appears as though she's starting late.
Yeah.
She's like waited till like day 4 or 5 to start making these rounds. And we know editing is funny and she could have done this sooner, but it just seems like she is not making any inroads with anybody, and it surprises me a little that she seems to be on the outs with so many people, but at the same time, I think give her time and she'll be on the end with some people. It's going to start sticking out.
You're saying she did this too late, but I'm saying she shouldn't have done it at all. I mean, she's assuming that Ozzy's out for her and she's making it. And so she's becoming this paranoid player. And so she's going and really just burning bridges without even realizing it. So I really feel like if she had just chilled out, and kept her, she's got this, if she had just smiled at everybody.
See, I think it's the other way around. I think she has been chilled out and she's now realizing she needs to start, circling the wagons. And I think she's done it too late. It sounds like she's having initial conversations with some people.
Yeah.
And it's like she should have been doing this all along, not talking strategy, but talking about life and just playing the game and just getting people to fall into her mystical charm.
Yeah, because it was let's see. Yeah, it was day 6. No, I guess it was day 5 before she ever talked to Sarah.
Yeah, and I wrote down Suri recruits 0 allies.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're on a beach with 9 other people for 5 days, you need to have talked to everybody.
Like Zeke did.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's just going sitting by them while they're eating something. It's like, hey, how you doing? How was your season? Did you like your season? Stuff like that. You just make conversation.
Right. So, speaking of which, let's go to Mana day 5. And the first thing we find out is that Tony has not talked to Haley since they've been there. Same thing we just said. Sandra says, has Tony invited you into his group? Great, great, great opening line. She doesn't say, are you with Tony? Have you talked to Tony? She says, has he included you in his 5 alliance? Right. And she comes out and says, he hasn't talked to me since I've been here. Sandra says, okay, let me write that down. So, Tony and Haley are not connected in any way. Haley is mine. There you go.
Yeah. And of course, Sandra says, Tony can't be trusted. This is my game. And then another great line, almost on par with the Michaela lines.
Mm-hmm.
You're only the king until the queen arrives. I'm here.
Yes. I meant to Google that because they say you're only the king until the queen arrives. Or is that a husband-wife thing? You're only the king of the house till the wife shows up.
Yeah. Well, you know who runs the house.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So Sandra is on the Tony trail.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like what she says.
Yeah, she recruits Troyzan and Hallie and then talks to Varner.
Yeah.
I love how Varner's playing. And he talks about it later. Sit back and look at me and see how it goes.
Yeah. I'm just watching 2 number 1 players going at each other. That's awesome.
Yep.
I like Sandra says something like, this game is so natural to me. I don't even have to try. It just happens.
Exactly.
It's like the game was made for her, is what she's, Anyway.
And she's the one with the mystical power. People like watching her play and like listening to her talk.
Yeah. Varner Lane. Sandra put a group together in 10 minutes. It's ugly fast, and I love it.
Yeah, exactly. He said, put an alliance of 5 together in 15 minutes. That's why she's won twice.
Yep. Then Mana, day 6. So it's the next day. Tony realizes that Sandra's after him, and what does he do? He goes into even higher gear.
Yep.
It's time for me to get ruthless.
Yep.
Of course, Malcolm and Caleb, especially Malcolm. Malcolm doesn't want Tony gone. Like we said, Tony's a shield.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I think we're getting a lot of fodder at this point. I think Malcolm says you can't let Sandra build an army because that's how she wins. She gets her group together. And he, like you said, Tony's not his first choice, but he wants to keep him around. He doesn't trust him any farther than he can throw his big bald head, but he needs the camouflage. He wants to keep him for that.
Right.
And then Tony tightens up with Caleb. Caleb says he trusts Tony more than Sandra, which to me was just a line that we got to keep us from knowing Tony was getting voted out.
Yeah. I don't really think what Caleb said is true. Caleb said if Tony goes home, we're going to get picked off one by one. I don't think so, because they're not getting off Tony that for any reason that's even related to Caleb and Malcolm. They're getting him off for a completely different reason. They're not going to get him off and then go, okay, now we got to get Caleb and now we got to get Malcolm. So I don't really think Caleb's right in saying that.
Well, I'm glad you brought this up because we're right at the part where Malcolm and Caleb are talking on the tree. And I want to guess that this was a much more important conversation than even the edit led on. I think this was the point where Malcolm and Caleb said, you know what? Tony's gone. There is nothing we can do. Yeah. They have 5 people. We have no choice. So either we vote with Tony to try to force something and somebody plays something. If we vote with Tony, we are part of Tony. Yeah. And that will make us. And that could be where Caleb said, if we do that, they're going to take us out next. Or we go ahead and join Sandra and get in that group, vote with that group, put him alone, and then we're in that group, because you don't want to be the one person that flips. If it's 4 and 4, one person in the middle, you don't want to be the one that comes over last, because then you're first to go once the others are gone. Right. But I really think on that tree is where they sat there and said, you know what? We cannot win this battle. We can still win the war, but we can't win this battle with Tony. We have to let Tony go. Let's go to Sandra and say, we're all in. Tell us how to vote. Yeah. And I think that's where Caleb was coming from, maybe in the sense that if we stay and vote with him, we're going to be next. So let's don't. Right. Let's just put all our cards with Sandra and see where that takes us.
Going into this immunity challenge, are you done? Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Yeah, that's the last thing I had.
Going into the immunity challenge, I felt like it was quite obvious who was going to lose, because we had a Mana, Nuku, Mana, Nuku, Mana, Mana. 4 segments with Mana, 2 segments with Nuku. Who's going to lose? Mana.
Plus, it was more interesting to watch. You got the 2 big powerhouses going after each other.
Right.
It was good, but you're right. They really leaned heavy on Mana.
Yeah. Now, I was writing notes, so I didn't really catch the whole Suri is sitting out thing. What happened there? Was there something like they don't usually show us this kind of stuff quite as much? Did she not want to sit out, or what was going on?
No, in fact, I didn't catch everything either, but Gracie noticed that when he said, who wants to sit out, almost the whole tribe looked down as if, I'm not volunteering. I'm going to play. And Suri just said, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll be the one that sits out. Like, she volunteered at that point. Surely they talked about it beforehand. These people are smart enough to know that, they talk about that stuff. But
I was wondering.
Yeah, Gracie just noticed that the whole tribe looked down. She goes, that was odd. That they all may have looked down at the ground like, I'm not volunteering. And she's like, I'll do it.
But that makes it sound like they didn't talk about it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what made it seem odd to Gracie too, that she noticed that.
All right, let's see.
Another good challenge, but I didn't write down a lot of notes about it either.
Poor Varner. He can't let go of the cage.
Now, that wasn't a water thing. That was I'm already up here, hand me the snake thing, right?
No, that was before that. When they were trying to get the snake, he was like hanging onto the cage.
Yeah.
Look down there, and Probst is like, Nuku, everybody on Nuku is going for it. Anyway, whatever.
But I thought Varna was positioning himself to get it up quicker to try and lift the
No,
snake.
because then whenever they handed him the snake, he's like, I can't lift it. I can't lift it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, look, like
I mean, he may have been thinking that, but the snake was like 8 of him, so he couldn't move it.
Well, Probe said it was 400 pounds, but later Caleb said that had to have been 700 or 800 pounds.
Yeah.
So
here again, Nuku is way ahead. Mana can't even get the snake undone, and they finally do. And I wrote down Varna's not really helping. He didn't really help very well.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Was he panicking?
But while Nuku is working on the combination, Mana loses the snake. Mana loses the snake twice.
Yeah.
But what did Probe say? Do you remember?
No.
This is what you call a disaster in a Survivor Challenge.
Until they caught up. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they catch up.
It's all down to the last run.
Yeah. So anyway, Malcolm definitely catches up. If they showed it, well, it's not like they would say like if JT won and Malcolm only had like 2 rings on, they wouldn't go, okay, Malcolm, keep throwing rings on and act like y'all are almost catching up.
Right.
So I think they were probably that close.
I did too. Now, do you think he should have swapped out?
Yep.
Do you think it's worth giving JT 2 or 3 more throws for Michaela to get the learning curve down? Unless she gets lucky or super good. And Michaela is super good at challenges, but there is a learning curve to that toss that JT already has and Malcolm was close to. He's already hit the thing twice. It just didn't stay down. So is it worth
I thought it was
giving him extra tosses for the learning curve?
I thought it was at 6 that she said, "Do you want me to come in?" And he goes, "Give me a few seconds," or something like that. I thought that was at 6.
It might have been. And did he ever get 7? I don't think he ever got 7.
I don't remember.
Yeah. So I don't know. But then JT got 7.
Yeah.
Wait.
Says Malcolm is catching up. Now they are tied. Wow. They were tied at 6. JT gets 7.
Yes.
Michaela wants in so badly, but Malcolm wouldn't let her.
Right.
JT wins. And Malcolm got the last confessional. We need to keep strong players.
Well, see, that's why I'm wondering how many, tosses would it take Michaela to learn the distance and the strength that it takes to do it? So is it worth giving JT JT had 1 shot left?
I can see your point, but I would think she's probably been, I can get in at any time.
Yeah.
All right. Day 6, back at camp, Mana, Caleb. Jeff did not emphasize how heavy that was. And you know who's frustrated?
Michaela.
Right. I hate it whenever weaker players lose it. And I was like, I wonder how long she can keep calm whenever she keeps getting frustrated.
Yep. So future players, if you get to play with Michaela, stare at her face when she's asked questions or hears comments. And if you ever want to bring her into your side, do what Caleb did and talk about the importance of winning challenges. He does this later in the segment. It's a really good point. That's how you get Michaela to come in.
Yeah. And then Sandra patiently waits for Tony to leave.
Yes.
Tony's got to go.
That's it right there.
Yeah. So then they decide he's good at finding idols, so they need to split the vote. There they go. And they were going to go to Caleb and Malcolm, and I wrote they are not going to get Caleb and Malcolm. They're not going to.
On that tree. If before the challenge, I think that tree conversation was more to it than just what we saw. And what I love was they went to talk to Caleb. It was Haley, Sandra, and Troyzan. And they weren't facing Caleb. They were all facing Haley.
Right.
At the topic. Troyzan was adding to the topic. Like, that's a good idea. That's a good thought. You're right. That is a good thought. So it's kind of like it didn't put the pressure on Caleb as you're the one the 3 of us are trying to pull in. It was kind of like, and they're making a group decision. And Caleb's not dumb. He knows that he's not in this group. He's trying to be pulled in. But I liked how they said, Caleb, you need to come with us type thing. It wasn't us and you. It was all of us.
Ooh, you're breaking up bad again. I'm asking them if they hear it because I didn't hear like hardly anything you just said. Heard. So I'm not sure.
So now
I am. Well, there. Well, yeah. All right. Okay. So what I think is happening is CBS knows they've got Tony going against Sandra, and Sandra calls herself the queen all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've got to get Tony to talk about not giving up the throne, like, anything they can do to get him to say anything about him being king and not throwing off and getting off the throne. Because now they got the king versus the queen, right? Because he says, I'm not giving up my throne. And now he's playing even harder and says, Sandra has to go. Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
So Caleb tries to get Michaela. Michaela says I love this. Losing is not in my everyday vernacular. Right?
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
this is where Varner says having two winners going after each other is heaven. Now, I missed a word here. This is Sandra. No one has a track record like me, and we're going to something tonight at Tribal Council. What'd she say?
I didn't write down everything.
remember?
Just that she's going to show it tonight at Tribal Council, I guess. I'm not sure.
Something like that, yeah.
I like Varner tells Caleb that you're playing with fire. Is that the way it came on the text to scroll said you're, as in what Caleb is doing is playing with fire.
Yeah.
Then Caleb says, well, you don't ever know. You don't ever play with it. You'll never know. If you don't ever play with it, you'll never know if you can get burnt. I'm pretty sure that if I play with fire, I'm going to get burnt. However, you don't know if you're Khaleesi, and you don't know if you can walk through fire and not get burnt. So, in all fairness.
Well, when you're 3 years old, you see the fire, and you don't know if you're going to get burnt until you start playing with the fire, and then you find out.
Exactly.
And then from then on, you realize fire is something you don't play with.
Right.
All right. Tribal Council.
I've got Tony, stay strong. Malcolm, stay strong. Michaela, I'm here because I'm a strong player.
Right. Sandra acts like she's scared when she knows darn well she's not going home.
Right.
Troyzan.
But I love Sandra's point about keeping strong players. Well, we've put strong players in all the right positions in the last two challenges, and we still lost.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Great point.
I like Troyzan says, well, after this vote, we'll be at least 50% less paranoid. Tony, I caught him talking. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sandra's right behind him saying, Tony is always paranoia. I don't play that way. Whoop. Is there something in my hair?
Yeah. She says, I'm calm. And then the bug comes. Yeah. Yeah. Varner, I believe Tony, Malcolm, and Caleb agree. Troyzan's like, no, I ain't going for that. So,
they're not buying anything Tony's saying at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. So time to vote. Sandra to Aubrey, you're not going home. The queen stays the queen. Basically, Aubrey, everybody else is Tony.
Yeah.
And then Tony afterwards. Oh, no, this is on the way out. Do you want to be? Did you happen to write out the whole dialogue?
I did not.
Okay, well, then I'll be both of them. Tony, sheep being led to the slaughter. Good job, Sandra. Sandra, that's what you get for plotting against me. Tony sarcastically, like it isn't bothering him, which it may not be. He can be pretty laid back.
Yeah.
Good job, Sandra. That's what you get, and the queen stays queen. Tony, you guys are suckers if you allow this to happen. Sandra, that's what you get. Take your beep home. Tony gets his torch snuffed and is walking off. Troyzan, wow. Sandra yells after him. He's like a good 50 feet from the tribal council. Bye, Tony. Say hi to Sierra for me. There you go.
Do you think that was a good idea?
What? What?
Her to come off that way?
What? I can't hear you at all.
Oh, no.
Yeah, can't hear you, buddy. And the chat room says you're breaking up, too. So much for this Vios internet connection. I don't know what's going on with your internet connection. Oh, David's telling me something. Let's see what it is. Just a second. I'm looking back. Beta girl, I'm back. Yes, it was brutal. Sassy Sand. David, you'll probably have to read all the feedback then. Oh, maybe so. You know what you could do? You could reboot while I am listening or while I'm reading a feedback, David. All right, but not yet. So in Tony's exit interview, he gave Sandra props, called her the queen. He was very humble. I like
Mhm.
Tony.
Yeah.
So there you go, y'all. It is time for listener feedback. Do I have a feedback? Yeah, I don't like our feedback jingle. So I will now follow David's feedback document. So we're now here at the feedback portion of our show. Thank you for staying with us an hour and a half so far. Will the Giant Ninja has audio? Dadgummit, I didn't know that. Just a second.
And Miriam got in a late one.
Well, I hope this works. I'm having to play it from my computer. So just a second. Let me put my computer on do not disturb so that we won't get any things. And I'll turn up the computer feed. Here we go. Will Dennison.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. Well, here we are in the darkest timeline.
Can you hear him?
The timeline that shows us why
David's gone.
we love returnee seasons and why we hate them. In 2 hours, the editors teased us with a Tony and Aubrey alliance, with Malcolm working with them, with Sandra working with them. Oh my gosh, it sounded so great. And then the rug was pulled out from under us and we lose Team TV. I need to say this at the outset, even though I think everybody listening knows it. Tony is my favorite survivor of all time. Now, that doesn't mean I think he's the greatest player of all time. I think he's in that conversation. I think he's easily in the top 10, but I don't think he is the greatest player of all time. I think he's very, very, very good. In fact, I think he's great. But I do think there are some players who might be even better. And two of them happen to not only be on this season with him, but even on his tribe. And I'm talking about Sandra and Malcolm. They are also great players, and they got rid of Tony because getting rid of Tony was best for their game. So let's talk about Sandra and Malcolm and why they needed to get rid of Team TV. First with Sandra. To understand Sandra's motivation, you're inclined to think about her mantra. Anybody but me, as long as it ain't me. Well, that's what Sandra told us was her plan from day one in Pearl Islands. But if you think about heroes versus villains, she didn't really stick to that plan. She wanted to get rid of Russell at every turn. She just couldn't get the numbers. She hated Russell and wanted to get Russell out of her game. And in fact, trying to get him out but never succeeding is probably why she won that season. Fast forward to today, and Sandra thought Tony was coming for her. And if Tony was coming for Sandra, then Sandra had to pull the rug out and turn the tables on Tony. That's why Sandra had to get rid of Tony. But to do that, she had to get Malcolm on her side. Why did Malcolm go along with getting rid of Tony? Didn't Malcolm want to surround himself with strong players, with big targets? Didn't he want to employ Jeremy's meat shield strategy? Yes, he did. But Malcolm also knows the history of this game. And Malcolm believed correctly, as it turns out, that this season is going to follow the format of second chance. And in so doing, that means a swap at 18 to 3 tribes of 6. Malcolm knows the numbers. Malcolm understands numbers. And if there are 3 tribes of 6 players, and Malcolm is assigned to one of them, that means there are only 5 spots left on his team, on his tribe. There are 12 spots that are then against him. From Malcolm's perspective, once he is assigned to a tribe, for any remaining player in the game, there is only a 30% chance that they will be on Malcolm's tribe. There is a 70% chance, 12 out of 17, that they will be on one of the other 2 tribes. Malcolm knows that Tony is a strong player. Malcolm wants that strong player out of the game because there is a 70% chance that he's going to have to battle him directly in upcoming challenges after the swamp. That is why Malcolm correctly got rid of Tony. That is why Michaela, who genuinely cares about keeping the tribe strong so that she can win challenges and not go to tribal council, voted to get rid of Tony because she wants to keep her tribe strong. Not her current tribe, her tribe tomorrow. Her tribe of 6 people who has a 70% chance of Tony not being with her. I guarantee you that Malcolm had that numbers conversation with Michaela, and I guarantee you that Michaela understood the numbers, and they both voted correctly to get rid of Tony. I'm not happy about it. In fact, I'm quite sad about it. I wish I had 12 more weeks to watch Tony on my TV screen. Unfortunately, everybody else is playing Survivor too, and they did what's best for them. R.I.P. Team TV. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja.
All right, Will. So we're not going to talk about episode 3 at all until the end of the show, but Will is kind of assuming some stuff, and it's interesting that he feels like Malcolm and Michaela are assuming there's going to be this mix-up at 18, as though that's happened every other season that there's been 20. Which I mean, I don't know about that.
I wonder if it's because one tribe lost twice. They just assume it could happen, but they wouldn't know that.
Well, Will is saying that. Well, anyway, I kind of felt like he was saying that Malcolm knew. He said that Malcolm made the good choice because Malcolm knew this was going to happen.
Oh,
and I don't know. But anyway, it's always fun hearing Will, the Giant Ninja, on our show. I like Will. All right. It is now time for, let me get over there. Where is my mouse? Oh, there it is. David Holdsworth from New Jersey. A warm welcome back to you, D&D, and your awesome fan community. I am usually dismissive of all returnee seasons, probably because as a too numerous to count applicant, I would rather see newbies get a shot. However, I am digging this cast overall. Overly aggressive play or strategizing in the first few days tends to be a recipe for an early boot. But these returnees seem to not care. Several come out swinging hard. I was not surprised at Sierra doing what she did. That's her standard play, and it cost her. But Tony's gameplay seemed to be a caffeinated caricature of how he played last time, and unnecessary since he appeared to have locked in a good core alliance already. Sandra, my all-time favorite player, she is just a pleasure to watch play, and her great gameplay actually elevates when she perceives a threat. Although I'd love to see her three-peat, I don't think it will happen, but I am looking forward to the Sandra show nonetheless. Farewell from New Jersey. Not sure if I will be able to send feedback or even see next week's episode, since the family will be in Disney World the next week for spring break. Dave Holdsworth. And for Will, who's probably frustrated because David didn't get to hear his whole feedback, and so he didn't get the more intelligent David's response. He got mine. Sorry, Will. Here's applause for you too.
Wait, there's a more intelligent David on this podcast?
Yeah,
me?
That would be you.
Oh,
Yes.
You're too kind.
All right, David, you got the next one.
Oh, am I coming through better?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. This is Mike Egan from Canada. Hi, Dwaine and David. Mike from Canada here, reporting in on the great Game Changer start last night. The double episode premiere was as much a Survivor 101 do's and don'ts class as it was just pure entertainment. If you play too hard, too fast, or are not able to perceive and adjust how you are viewed, you're gone. The Tony eviction was a self-elimination of sorts. His gameplay, much like Russell Hantz, seems to work with novice lineup much. Sierra was very smart and capable, but at 27 didn't have the creds with Survivor veterans to be lecturing the group. Should have known better. Sandra came off well, and her heartfelt farewell to Tony at show's end was the highlight for me. So do you think if Sandra had come up with those names, she would have been treated different than Sierra?
Yes. But Sandra wouldn't do that.
Right. And I think it's as much Sierra's history more than anything else. But I think it's the fact that even Audrey calls her, she's schemy. She's savvy. All of them had comments like that to say about Sierra, that they just didn't think they would trust her. Yeah. And Varner got in she voted out her mom. So we knew that was going to
that was a game changer. The voting out your mom. That really changed the game forever.
Cricket
sarcasm.
Cricket. Another.
You know what I hate about emojis? I say sorry, and no one knows which emoji that is. I wish when I hovered over an emoji, it said what the heck it was supposed to be. I don't know.
I know. I don't either. There's like too many of them. Another thing that I thought one was a Hershey's Kiss that had rolls on it, but it's not.
You thought
first glance it looks
so one day you wrote, "I'm really hungry. I wish I had some."
Okay.
That was too good, David. That was too good.
Another thing that got my attention was the lame advantage they rolled out this season. It is so tribal council specific as to be virtually useless. In fact, being seen with this could bring you far more grief than anything positive that might develop. But hopefully she won't tell anybody. Doesn't reveal. Jessica did that, but it didn't. Ken never gunned for her to get the advantage.
Right.
He is right that it is very tribal specific. Do you like that it's so specific like that?
She can only give it to somebody in her tribe?
No. She can only play it at 13 and 6.
Oh, I already told you. I love that. I love it because, well, it puts a little pressure on you. And it also takes away the stress of, should I play it or not? Well, you can only play it twice. So,
see, if Malcolm gets it, he plays it at 13 because that should be around the merge, and he would need it at that point if he doesn't win. If Sierra gets it, she could probably keep it till 6. If she's with the right people. The revelation about vote ties at Tribal Council, I really don't know what to make of it. Dwaine and David, what's your take on this? And I think we've already covered that too. That's a time saver. Yeah. The possibility of a safe top player eliminated because of a vote tie at Tribal Council and subsequent draw seems a step back for Survivor.
It's always been that way.
Yeah, I was going to say it's kind of a lateral move.
Yeah, I don't really think it's a step back because every single time, almost every, I can't remember when a tie vote's been switched and didn't have to go to rocks. I'm sure it's probably happened, but not in recent seasons. And like last season, it was like, okay, we know you're going to end up going to rocks. Why do we have to do another vote? What a waste of time.
Didn't they do it in Cambodia? Didn't they switch the votes so Keith and Kelly wouldn't have to draw, or Keith, or I forget.
Yeah, see, I remember about as much of last season's Survivor as I remember when I was 3 years old. I forget things so quickly. I don't remember who was on Cambodia, much less anything particular about a vote.
Feedback about Dwayne's memory, if you'd like to, for next week. Let's see. In fact, save the gimmicks for seasons when you need to create excitement, not all-star endeavors like Game Changers. Last, and I have gone on too long. Actually, no, you haven't, Mike. This is pretty short. 4 players to watch this season are Sandra. Is that how you're saying it now? Sandra. Troyzanne, Aubrey, and Andrea. I can't wait for your take on this season. As always, the best, Mike from Canada.
It's interesting because I also think Andrea is going to do really well. And we didn't get a whole lot of her today, which I think is positive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that is good. Well, she's also on a winning tribe, so.
Well, I know, but still. She looked amazing on the episode.
Except that she missed the challenge, the advantage. Otherwise,
yeah, no, I meant okay. Anyway, Steve, the New York graphic artist. Hey, D&D. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you had a nice winter break. Now, back to Survivor. What do you think about this week's show? We enjoyed it. There were 2 blind sides in one show. I love it. We don't think the first one was a blind side.
I don't think the second
I don't really
one was
think
a blind
the second
side.
one was a blind side either.
Yeah, me either.
I mean, they knew it was either him or him. So nobody that absolutely thought they were safe went home. So
yeah,
I respect your opinion, but I do disagree with it. He is good for the show, talking about Tony. I said, I'm not happy that Tony was voted off. He is good for the show. And with his little games that he plays, myself, I think he was too loud in the beginning with running into the woods, yelling and going off to make his spy bunker at night and talk with Sandra. He was good with Sandra. Why make waves with her? I think Tony and Sandra would have gone far together. Sandra really gave it to Tony at Tribal Council. There you go, Steve. I agree with all that. Absolutely. What is the over and under with Debbie's jobs on this show this season? I don't know. But this time, she that doesn't get paid for it. Right?
That's right. Does that count as a job?
Yeah. She's this really important person who doesn't get paid for it, but they trade for her so she can have training. Ty is watching the chickens again, and they are giving out names. Not the chickens, but the players are giving out names. I see that Legacy Advantage is back in play. At least they changed the rules this season. We'll see how it plays out. Now, did we see the Legacy Advantage other than the envelope? David?
Did we see the advantage this week?
Yeah, he said, I see that Legacy Advantage is back in play. At least they changed the rules this season. Is he talking about the Legacy Advantage? Because I didn't think we saw the Legacy Advantage.
But they changed it to be specific. Yeah.
No, I thought what we saw that Sierra had was it wasn't called a Legacy Advantage. It was called something else. Didn't Andrea miss the Legacy Advantage on the boat?
Yeah, and that's what Sierra read, the Legacy Advantage.
Oh, my bad.
That's what she found. Oh.
Okay. Steve, we cannot read the next part. I went ahead and wrote this down so I'd be able to say it right. We can't read the next part of your feedback because it's about something in the next show that I know people won't want to hear. So, Steve, go ahead and post it in the group and put spoil alerts above like we do these things, CBS or CBS endorsed. So if you're wondering what in the world we're talking about, is we even if CBS endorses it or CBS did it, we don't just blatantly put it on our Facebook group. We usually put possible spoiler and then we do it, right? So that people that don't even want to hear what about there are some people that don't even watch the preview for next week. So they don't want to hear that. We want them to be able to safely be on our Facebook group and listen to this podcast without having to worry about that. But we do want to talk about CBS and CBS endorsed site stuff. So that's perfectly allowed on our website as on our Facebook group, as long as you tell everybody what it is. So sorry, Steve, but we do want you to post it in the group. Okay, D&D, catch you next week. Hey, I forgot to give Mike applause. Sorry, Mark. Mike from Canada. Eh?
That just seems.
That same guy in the audience goes, "Woo!" every single time.
I was thinking the same thing. But
the guy needs to get it.
That did seem kind of ticky-tacky, though, that we're calling a spoiler alert something that was actually shown at the end of the episode. I know. I understand what you said. It's just
anytime. Okay, in our pinned post, we said anytime that we post anything in the Facebook group that CBS has said about the next episode, or EW or Gordon Holmes or anybody that has said about the next episode, all we say is just put possible spoiler because it's a spoiler for the next episode. There are no other spoilers allowed on our site. So when you see possible spoiler, all that is what's going to happen next episode in the previews.
Yeah.
But also in those threads, people like to speculate a lot,
Yeah.
right? Based on this. And so like one time I speculated about something on a post and someone said, I don't appreciate being spoiled. And I was like, I was guessing, so we're just trying to.
So speculate all you want in those potential spoiler threads.
In those threads, yeah. But so, I mean, like Mike K puts up so much stuff and I love it because that means I don't have to go out and find it and do it. It's like Mike K is like an associate administrator for our site, for our group. And he puts everything up and he always puts spoiler alert before it.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead, David.
All right. We move on to
the pinned post.
To Faith from Seattle. Do you want me to read the pin? I don't want to read the pin post now.
Not here, but
oh, sorry,
David. I spent a long time on that pin post. You better read it.
I read it once.
Wait, I got a question. I got a question for you, Mr. David.
Let me get my drink.
I asked you to go look at the new redesigned episode page and the new redesigned feedback page. Did you?
I tried, but it wouldn't come up at my work. So I looked at it today.
All right.
From home.
Thank you.
And they're very nice. Or at least the one I saw is. Let's see. Faith from Seattle.
Hey, Faith. Wait, do I have Faith's flag in here? Oh, no, I sent it to you, didn't I? The Seattle Seahawks flag? Oh. Where's your flag? All right, go ahead.
Faith from Seattle. Hey, D&D. So glad to have Survivor back. And with that, my two favorite podcasters. Oh, then she puts you two Yahoos. LOL. Okay, I was going to say, who is she talking about? Good. I thoroughly enjoyed the premiere. It's good to see some old favorites again. I was really looking forward to seeing Tony play again, but that dream is gone. Maybe another time. I don't know. Do you think Tony would ever play again?
Hey, she got to watch him play again, just not very long.
Right. That's right.
No, I don't think Tony will play again.
I don't either. I know Dwaine hates.
Well, hold on. If they pay him enough, he will.
That's right.
Because this one did not wear him down. That last one he played, it took him, I think he told me it took him like 2 years before he was anywhere near back to where he used to be.
Get paid first.
This one I know didn't take him down any, so he might.
All about the money. Okay. I know Dwaine hates. Oh, I love it when people start a sentence with I know Dwaine hates.
Don't say that.
I know Dwaine hates it when people say they saw such and such coming.
That's right, Faith. I do.
I couldn't wait.
However, she says, however,
I did tell my boyfriend as soon as Tony got voted out that they would be doing it.
No.
Oh, sorry. You got to read these and tell me if I can't read them or not.
You're the one that read them. You're the one that puts them on there.
I'm the one that told you to read Steve's and see if that's a spoiler.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Faith. I got to skip that part.
Well, anyway, she predicted something that's going to happen. That has already been proven.
Based on what she saw in the next time on. So when we get to that point of the show, you'll hear about it. So
yes, we are definitely going to have a section at the end where we talk about what's coming up.
Okay. So let me just get to okay. Here we go. I do love the rule change for automatic rock draw. If there's a tie and they can't make unanimous decision, should force them to play harder. I love how one feedback goes in one direction, the next feedback goes in another direction.
Yeah, okay. So I don't understand this. I don't see. It's basically the exact same thing they've always done, only without an extra vote. So I don't really see how it makes. And Andrea said it out there. I'm not talking about you, Faith, but other people are saying this is going to change the way the game is played. This is going to change the way people think about splitting the votes. Why? It's the same thing as before. So I don't really understand it. It's not really a big change. They're just taking out a vote.
I can see where it won't be, because if we split 8 votes, 4 for him and 4 for her, and those 2 vote for us, it's basically going to come down to those 2, and the 8 of us will easily agree on which one to send out. So yeah,
exactly.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or it'll happen what happened last year or last season, where both sides refuse to change their votes.
Right, and they draw
and
rocks.
Then they go vote again.
Well, this time they just won't vote again. They'll just draw rocks.
Yeah. Okay. Now I get it. If you and I are on the same alliance and we split our, I finally got it. I finally got it right up here, Nate. Right up here. If you and I are on the same alliance and we have 8 people in our alliance, and we're going for another person, and we split the vote, and it ties, we were anticipating getting to vote again, and we'll all vote for so-and-so. No more.
No. It is. You have to come to a unanimous decision right then and there at debate.
Well, then, I don't have it right here.
I was going to say, I don't know what you're getting because you've already got it. You've already explained it right the first couple of times.
I don't get it right here. No, I'm going to go over there, look for the flag.
Okay, you do get it, but you didn't get what you thought you got because you already had it in the first place. So you were there.
I already had it right the first time.
So I'm kind of agreeing.
David, I'm smart. I just don't know I'm smart.
I am the always agreeable. But if somebody has something in their mind that's different than what we're talking about, please put it on our Facebook group and tell us what we're missing here. Okay. But Faith loves it. Anyway, can't wait to watch this season play out and listen to your commentary. Plus, the awesome guests you have lined up, especially Chaos Cass. Now, we said Cass, we said Sunday, we said Jessica, both Andy Baker and Steve Helling, who are celebrities in our group, are both want to come on. Wonderful tie.
Yeah.
If you're listening on audio, you're missing out on Dwayne's striped tie.
Hey, I'm just telling you, man. This is how you wear outfits.
I've also talked to Kyle Jason, who wants to come on this season.
I didn't say Kyle could come on. Who likes Kyle? Except for Denise, maybe.
I like Kyle. So
I'm just kidding.
plus he said he was going to beat you up if you didn't let him on. So he's going to come on.
You know, we get hate mail when we have Jason.
Don't talk about hate mail post guest. Let's skip right over that. We love our guests because they're kind enough to come on our show. All of you.
I actually love having him on. I was just giving him a hard time because his wife's on the.
Yeah.
Denise goes, not me. I said the only person that likes him is his wife, and she goes, not me. That's awesome. All right. You know why I don't wear ties, David?
Why?
Because it shows that I have the world's biggest chin. There's so much freaking fat underneath my.
You know why I don't wear ties? I don't wear ties anymore.
Yeah, I don't have to.
Although
anymore.
I do in the trio, but not for anything else.
I never wear ties except for funerals.
Okay.
And even then, I don't wear them anymore.
Nope, no more ties.
All right, go ahead.
That's it.
All right.
Go Zags.
Who are the Zags? With some roller derby team or something?
I don't know. I'm not even sure where Gonzaga's from. I don't think it's Gonzaga. She have to tell us. Is she in the chat room?
No.
Faith is not. in the
She
chat room.
bailed on us.
Zags, not the Seahawks. That would be Hawks. She says go Hawks for that. Well, who's playing right now?
The Zaggernauts.
There are no more Supersonics.
All right, here we go. Veronica. Welcome to the 34th season of Survivor. So excited to hear from you guys again this season. Well, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. But I want to make sure we don't get hate mail from Faith. It is Gonzaga, I'm sure, because they are from Spokane, Washington.
Okay.
So they are highly ranked in the NCAA tournaments.
Yeah. Well, we just won't get one of their flags. And I may never get another one from her because I can't find the Seahawk flag. Trying to figure out where I put it. Anyway, I thought, oh, no, I sent you the Blackhawks flag, didn't I?
Mm-mm.
No, I sent you the Seahawks flag. You're the one that doesn't have the flag.
No, I do have the flag somewhere. Then
I see you trying to put it on me, and you're the one. All right, here we go.
It worked
I
for a
love
while.
seeing some of my favorite players back again. I love JT, Malcolm, Ty, Troyzan, Varner, Debbie, Ty, and Beast Most Cowboy. So she likes Ty twice.
I left that in there because I think she likes Ty twice.
That's what I'm thinking. I especially like seeing everyone all cleaned up and fluffy. My memory of these players is after they've been starving on the island for many, many days in seasons past, so to see them on the huskier side and a little older is especially fun. That is always fun whenever you bye, Denise. Oh, she's already gone. Whenever you see him at the reunion show and like the 3 people on the stoops are like 50 pounds more each. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Do you think any of these players bulked up before going to the island so they would have excess weight to lose? Certainly a possibility.
I think JT's got a little gut. I'm sure Tony did. And Oz even got a little bit
Yeah. Great plan if you make it to the end, right?
Yep.
Love the beginning. Love the scenery. What a gorgeous location. And especially love seeing all the sharks in the shallow water. Who was it that once beached a shark and ate it? I can't remember, she says. And I don't know. Speaking of remembering, can you remember the old days when we watched Survivor? I'm sorry. Can you remember the old days when we watched Survivor before HD TVs existed? How did we survive those fuzzy screens? We have become very spoiled. At least at our house we have. I do remember HD TVs were out and Survivor was still doing standard definition. I was like, y'all making enough money. Get some HD cameras out there.
Yep, exactly.
What do you think of Tony's spy bunker? We've already talked. Was it really wise? Nope. He started too hard, too fast, and too hyper. And Troyzan called it when he said his face gives it all away. Tony could bone up the art of subtlety, but alas, it's too late this season now, isn't it? Yes, it is. Sorry, Tony. You would think by now that these players should know that it's a bad idea to come out of the gates fighting too hard. Beast mode took a hard fall on the rocks. Oh, that's right. He did. Who was he with when he did that?
Tony. We've already talked about that. Yeah.
Well, I didn't remember talking about that.
I know. Because you don't listen. That's okay.
So many thoughts. We could be here, but I love it in this season. Thank you guys have been a big part of my life for several years now. Smiley face, Veronica. Oh, yeah. All right. Now, let's see. Miriam got hers in at like 7:59. But, Miriam, because you have been a longtime listener and at one time you were a patron, I will play yours if I can find it. Let's see. Speak pipe. There it is. Let's see. There it is. Are you ready? Are you ready for Mere I Am, otherwise known as Vader Girl? Now, I have not gotten to preview this. So if she, oh God, we got to ask her. Vader Girl, you didn't say anything about future stuff, did you? We'll just assume she didn't. We'll assume she didn't. All right, here we go.
Hey, Dave and Dwayne. This is Mere I Am, Vader Girl. Loving you guys so much. I'm sorry to call in so late. I've just had a lot going on. I loved the show last night. I am devastated about Tony. Team TV, he's my favorite. Sandra's great. My winner pick is still Ozzy. I think he got the winner's edit. I also think Malcolm showed him saying that Ozzy would beat him in the swimming race. And I think if he confessed to that, that shows that. Listen to you guys. It's very late. If you get it on, thank you so much. Love you guys. May the force be with you always. Black Cats and Kale for life. Support D&D. Shop the Amazon link. Love you guys. Bye.
Good job, Vader Girl.
That's how you make it. That's how you make it under the time, by throwing in a few ads.
That's right. Well, and also Vader Girl used our Speak Pipe link. If you go to our new feedback page, and also on our episode page, you'll see the different ways you can leave feedback. We don't have the phone anymore, but I did pay a little bit more a month. Like Speak Pipe was free, and now it's not. I pay a little bit a month, which is why you shop Amazon. So now you can talk for up to 3 minutes. So guess who's never going to use our Speak Pipe link?
Will.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right. Before we get to how well the Survivor players scored for our D&D Survivor Challenge, let's see if we have any new iTunes reviews, David. What do you think? Do you think we do?
I'm going to guess.
You write
Yes.
Go ahead and guess.
We read them.
Yes.
iTunes reviews.
Sorry, I actually didn't mean to touch the screen. before you answered. I apologize.
It's okay. I don't want to interrupt it.
We have one new iTunes review for this week. Well, actually, for the last 2 months. This is the only review we've had in the last 2 months, but we weren't on the air. So there you go. Great Survivor Chat by Sunday Burquest. Hey, don't we know her?
Did you not realize who that was when you typed it up?
I'm joking.
Oh, yeah.
butthole.
Yes. We do. She's coming on this season.
Oh, wait. Vader Girl says no response to my predictions.
I'll be honest. I did not hear half of her thing because it cut out on me. I'm sorry. What predictions did she make? That Ozzy will win? No, I'm sorry. I'm not buying that at all. In fact, I think a female wins this season, and it's probably I picked Troyzan out of sentimentality because I love the guy, but I didn't necessarily think that Ozzy got a winner's edit. If anybody got a great edit this week, to me, it was Sarah or it's hard in this first episode because even Varner got I thought a decent edit, and Zeke got a good edit, but I'm with you that I thought Cerise wasn't as good as it could have been. It made her look like she was playing from behind. So I'm not good at picking winner's edit either. So if she thinks Ozzy got a winner's edit, then she saw something I didn't see. So good for Ozzy, but I just don't think he wins this season. I don't think as soon as he loses, I think he's gone.
I don't. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. If they got any tree climbing things, he'll win for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there will be.
All right. Great Survivor Chat by Sunday Burquest on February 28, 2017. She gave us 5 stars.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Quote, I love listening to this podcast because I feel like I'm talking to my friends about the show I love, and they have great insight into gameplay and characters. Unquote. And she should know because she was a player.
That's right.
If you'd like to have your iTunes review read on the air, preferably of our show, just leave one on iTunes and we'll read it. While you're there, you might as well go ahead and subscribe and hit the share button. Now, y'all, the show is almost over. Almost over. But we still have a few more things to talk about. We have the Survivor player scores for the Survivor Talk with D&D Survivor Challenge, as well as a quick look and D&D speculation at the title and press release, and some talk about the preview for next week's Survivor episode. And we will give you a spoiler warning whenever we do that. Before we get to those two things, I want to really quickly say thank you for being a part of the D&D family, for listening to our shows, sharing the show with your friends, leaving our website up on all the computers that you go to in Best Buy. You know what all you do, and we probably don't need to know all the things that you do, but thank you. A quick note about Facebook. Pay attention. As you know, we have a very active and family-friendly Facebook group. You can find it from our website. There's a little link at the very top of the page. Or you can go to facebook.com/groups/Survivor Talk. Join the group if you haven't, and be sure to read the pinned post when you do. Our Facebook page, however, is being taken down for a couple of reasons. Remember, this is the page, not the group. Unfortunately, people go there thinking it's our group, and they must be sorely disappointed. I mean, I get a couple of likes a week, but those same people don't join the group. So I think what happens is they search Facebook for Survivor Talk, they get the page, and they don't get all the good stuff.
Right.
So we're going to go ahead and take it down because we don't use it. Y'all don't use it. Pretty much that's the only reason. So it's time to talk about the D&D Survivor Challenge that is in our Facebook group that many of you are playing. So we're going to find out, how did our players do getting us points this week? That's the all-important question. And everything we're about to tell you is on our Facebook group, so there's no need to write it all down. So, David, do you have the papers with all the scores? If you don't, I do.
I have the tally sheet that Mark sent us. I don't know how my tribe did because I'm not sure who's on my tribe. So
We're not talking about tribes. We're talking about each player, how they did, how many points did each player score for their teams.
Right. Yeah, I thought you said how our players did. All right, so Andrea Belke got whoever she has in the D&D challenge 5 points. Is that right? Is that what you got on your page?
Wait, are you going to go ahead and do both episodes together? I think you should.
I think I
My
am.
sheet is downstairs. I'm sorry.
Am I doing both? I think I'm doing both episodes together.
Okay. Well, there's an episode 1 sheet and an episode 2 sheet.
Oh, I might have the episode. What is this? Oh, this is episode 2. Shoot.
Well, I tell you what, y'all, since we don't have them together, just go to Facebook group, because those of you who aren't in our Facebook group don't care about this anyway. Go to our Facebook group and you'll see the link and you can see how your players did. All right. In the future, it'll be easier. We'll just have one page. We'll go down them really quick and it'll be fun to see how well they did.
Yep.
All right. And just for fun, since David and I didn't actually pick our own teams, Ryan Kaiser did. Read his blog on our website, by the way. How did our teams fare in the challenge after 2 episodes? Well, here's how it worked out. Dwayne's team, the Dwayne's Diabolical Decapods, scored 168 points.
Yep.
Again, I had nothing to do with picking this team. All right. David's team, the La Oops, one of my favorite titles ever, 162 points. So Dwayne's team, the Dwayne's Diabolical Decapods, is ahead.
Yes. And I love how your line right after the score you announced is the line you gave me trash for that I was going to be saying. You just want to be able to say you didn't pick the team, so you can claim that's why you're not doing well. And that's the first line you said after you mentioned your score, which I had nothing to do with picking my team. So
yeah, but I did really well. So why would I be doing that for that reason?
I'm just that you did it at all.
I was just reminding people.
I think.
In other words, I did really well, but it doesn't really matter because I didn't even pick my team. Right? This is all for fun. Whichever one of us wins is really Ryan's pick because he was supposed to do it completely randomly and he didn't. We'll never ask him to do that again. Well, that's Will to do it or something. He didn't. He didn't do them random.
I know.
He tried to make them fair. What's up with that? Gosh.
Such a nice guy.
All right. Spoiler alert, everybody. We're about to talk about next week's episode. So if you're leaving us, bye. Good to see you. Here we are. The title of next week's episode is Survivor Jackpot. That'll be interesting. Like, why would someone have said that?
Because I've hit the Survivor jackpot with the group of people I've now been tribed with.
That's right. Because, according to CBS, survivors drop their buffs for a tribe swap, and the game starts from scratch for one set of castaways. Also, that means they got to go to a thing and start all over again.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Which means...
What?
If we're doing spoilers, well, can I guess? Or...
Yeah.
That's kind of obvious. That means there's going to be 3 tribes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. 3 tribes of 6, which Will kept talking about. Will. Anyway. Also, one castaway leaves his tribe mate stranded in the ocean so he can search their camp for the immunity idol on Survivor. And we know who that is because we saw the preview.
Yep.
It's JT. And I don't know how he did it, but it's so funny watching Varner go, well, that's one way to get us out.
It's one way to separate yourself from the tribe and make yourself a target. Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Man, so on the preview, did you see the preview?
I did. Did he say he pushed him out there or rode him out there? And then
I don't know.
That's what it sounded like. He pushed him out there as far as he could get him. Then he came back by himself.
Yeah, I just wrote JT gets everyone out far in the ocean and then starts looking for the idol or looking through their stuff. One of the two.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, I guess I should have seen this coming, but I wasn't expecting everybody to drop their buffs. But that's probably because it's been like one episode for us. See,
Correct.
Last season they did an hour and a half, but it was the one immunity.
Right.
So we were 2 weeks before they did any swap, or the last time they did this. This time it's like week 2 of watching and they're already swapping.
Right.
So anyway, let's see. Idols are hidden in the challenges again.
Yes.
I like that.
I do too.
Remember, one of our very good friends, Kelly Wentworth, found one. That was really fun. So very good. I'm very glad about this. What do you think about the goats, David?
I've never tried to catch a goat, but we could.
Apparently they do.
We could see a goat kebab.
Sounds like it. We might get one. So anyway, that's a look at next week's episode. If you want to hear more or see more, be sure to go to our Facebook group. Check it out.
Yep.
David and I will be doing our D&D extra later, probably Monday or Tuesday. It'll be really short, but it'll be extra. And you'll get it if you're a D&D patron of $2 or more a month.
Yeah.
Which is the cost of a large fry or a medium fry at Chick-fil-A.
I wonder, people are asking why 2 whole episodes instead of just 90 minutes, or why it started so late. And I wonder if they couldn't build the second hour up anymore, because it was I thought it was kind of obvious who was going home once he flipped on them, and Sandra just said, all right, it's Tony. Like you said, they kept showing Mana more so than Nuku. So it was, the second hour to me was a little more predictable. It was still intense. It was still fun. But it wasn't, to me, I don't know. It was almost, it's kind of like this. You know what? That's about as best we can do with that second 3 days. So why don't we put those 6 days together?
The second 3 days would have been an hour, just like it was an hour.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. The second hour of the show was just kind of.
I know, but if they had done a 90-minute premiere and did all of it on the first 3 days, then those are the days that would have gotten more time. The second 3 days would have gotten the same amount of time, even if they had done a 90-minute premiere.
That's what I'm saying. Instead of putting the second 3 days in their own episode, they included it in a 2-hour episode to make it feel like more. They put them all together to make it feel like a bigger episode. Instead of putting it on its own, instead of making it the only hour we see that week, they include it with a more suspenseful opening hour, because the beginning is always so cool. So they threw in the second 3 days, which are kind of ho-hum.
Okay, so you're saying the second 3 days they felt like couldn't stand on its own, so they tagged it on the end of the first 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, there could be another production reason, but I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah. Well, there you go. 2 hours and 20 minutes. I thought it was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
What's really great is like 2 weeks ago, I wasn't like excited about podcasting again. It was just going to be more work and stuff like that. And then after I watched the episode, I'm like, I can't wait to podcast about this tomorrow.
Yes.
It all comes back.
Amazing.
I
think part of my problem tonight was we have an extra person in the house who was streaming, and that will not be the case next week.
Maybe so, but
I hope that's what it was, because I've never had this much problem before.
Yeah. Did you tell them to stop streaming? Because now you're much better. You're much clearer.
No, I'm guessing she's finished watching whatever she was watching.
But see, I got people watching Netflix and stuff in my house. It's weird because you have Vios, which is like 100 times faster than anything I've got. So I'm wondering if
I'm hoping it's not the laptop.
It might be. Is that your old work laptop or something? Still?
No, this is the one we got for this.
Oh, that's right. We bought one for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
wasn't a Mac, but it was a laptop.
Yeah, well, we didn't have money for a Mac. Macs are $1,500.
But it would look so good right here.
Somebody wants to donate $1,500, we'll get a Mac for you. Or we'll give you mine and I'll get the new one.
You're so
because I do more work than you do.
You're like my daughter.
But I may do more physical work with the show than you do, but you bring a lot more to the show than I do. I could never do this by myself. So awesome. We balance each other out very well. Oh, guess what? Great news for the Stroud family.
Yes.
My oldest son got engaged yesterday.
Woohoo. Where's the wedding?
Last night at Disney World, right in front of the castle.
Sweet.
Right before they went to eat. He got on his knee and he got the ring out and he said, "Will you marry me?" And she cried and said, "Yes."
Where's the video?
And then they hugged and kissed.
No video?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a video, but it's dark and you can barely hear them. It's like, come on, if you're going to. So anyway, so they're engaged. So they've been dating for 2 years, and now they got to wait another 2 years to get married because some people think you're supposed to graduate from college first. I'm the only one in my family that doesn't think that. I'm like, if you love each other and you got enough money to support yourselves, get married for crud's sake. So, no, I will not marry them. I don't think I'm going to marry them. They haven't asked me. What?
You're going to have a daughter.
I am.
Daughter-in-law, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll sing at the wedding or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll just sit there by my beautiful wife and enjoy it and cry my little head off.
Yes, you will. I'm not looking forward to those.
Oh, man. And you've got daughters. So they're like taking them from you and like completely taking them from you.
I'll have the casings and the shells.
No.
Right
Once they
beside
get
me.
married, they get married. They're no longer yours.
No, that's my message to them to how to treat my angels. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
What's the thing about cleaning my gun on the front porch?
Yeah.
A country song.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, my sons get married and I get to gain some daughters. I won't call them daughter-in-laws. Some daughters.
Mm-hmm.
But when your daughters get married, I'm sorry, but they're going off with their husbands and you'll never see them again.
No, I don't think so.
No, that will not happen.
Nope.
That will not happen. Your girls are awesome. Now, why is Grayson at home? She goes to college.
Spring break. She's on spring break.
Well, when my boys come home for spring break, I'm like, sorry, your room ain't your room no more. Find a floor, find a bed.
Well, that's what she's in. She's in the office. She's on a futon mattress in the office, poor thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was going to tell you, I watched The Young Pope.
Yes.
Excellent. Very good.
Okay.
What else did I watch?
Are we talking about what we watched? I watched Parks and Recreation.
Oh, that's a great show.
I love the British Office. I won't watch the American Office, but because I love the British Office. But I wanted to try it because I like Chris Pratt. I think he's really funny. I blew through every season of that show. So funny. I love Ron Swanson. He's now one of my favorite TV characters of all time, and it was just hilarious. Just a very, very, very funny show.
Yeah.
We also watched.
Go ahead.
Your turn.
Oh well, let me tell you. One of my favorite scenes in that show, Parks and Recreation. Vader Girl, I've already tried the leftovers. I tried the American version. I tried the French version, and they're both pretty good, but I still didn't finish. Is whenever Chris Pratt, they are examining what's wrong with the water fountains. Chris Pratt puts his whole mouth over the water spout. Oh, it was absolutely hilarious.
One of my favorites was the concert at the end, I think, of season 7, when the benefit concert to save the park or whatever, and they put the horse image up on the screen, the little horse that passed away, and then Ron Swanson comes out as the saxophone player, so he reveals who he is, as that part. But I
do remember that.
Yeah, I did watch season 2 of The Leftovers. I thought it was very intense. It got really good. I thought season 2 did. I have not started 3. When we had we're going to get HBO again this summer, and I want to actually go back and watch The Wire from start to finish because I saw the last few episodes. I have seen all of Westworld. I did see all of that. That's just good. A couple of movies to watch real quick. The Accountant with Ben Affleck.
Oh, is that good?
I recommend it because he plays an accountant, like a kind of a stiff, socially inadequate accountant, and it's perfect for him. He's really good at playing that part.
I thought he was like some kind of assassin or something.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything. You have to watch the movie.
That's in the previews.
Good. I recommend The Accountant. Yes, he's got another side to him. I recommend The Accountant. That was really good. And I also watched the OA on Netflix.
What is that?
Interesting. It's a series on Netflix. It's hard to describe without giving too much away. So I would just recommend you watch it. See if you want to get into the first couple episodes.
All right. I'm going to look at Netflix and see what I've been watching because I don't remember.
I also started watching Frasier. I'm rewatching that series from the beginning.
I like
Frasier. I thought it was
so
good.
old. It's so dated, though. You don't think so?
No, I watched it. I am watching The Walking Dead. I tell you, it's Walking Dead to me
is still on.
I know, really. It's got its moments where it's really slow, but it's also interesting because I'm comparing it to the comic because I do read the comic of it as well. I don't know how we find time. I watch them at lunch, to be honest with you. I watch a lot of these shows at lunch. I watched Angry Birds movie at lunch.
What?
I thought it
You
was
watched the Angry Birds movie?
I did because there was nothing else on and I was bored, so I watched it. I watched Midnight Special at lunch. It was really good. What else did we watch? The Walking Dead I thought was pretty good this past week. Or was it? Maybe it was the week before. This week's going to be good.
I don't know.
I hate when they've only focused on one or two people, but it's varying slightly from the comics. I'm waiting for certain characters of the comics to come back or come in, but that's kind of what's keeping my interest right now. But I'm almost ready for The Walking Dead to wrap it up and get to a point. I don't know how they're going to wrap it up because I don't know how the comic wraps it up. But I love Silicon Valley. I think that's one of the funniest shows on TV. It's actually on HBO. But it is so. Have you seen it?
See, I've never watched that. Oh, wait, I know what show I got into.
I love Silicon Valley.
Oh, I know what show I watched. Oh, just a second. I think it might be on Netflix. It was so good. It was hilarious.
I want to watch Homeland. That was on Showtime, but I want to go back and watch it. I did record the first season of his new show with Paul Giamatti. It's on. I think on Stars. It's not Bonds. I forget what it's called. I didn't get to see Designated Survivor. I wanted to, but it had so much else that I was watching because I didn't have time to watch it. So I haven't seen Keith Sutherland's show. CBS's Hunted. No.
Oh,
did you ever watch that? CBS's Hunted?
No,
I didn't either. I missed the beginning and I couldn't get back into it.
All right, David.
Mm-hmm.
On Netflix. Santa Clarita Diet
with Drew Barrymore and Timothy Olyphant.
Yes.
Was that good?
It's so funny.
Oh, I need to watch it. I want to watch it with Terry. Is it good to watch with your wife?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, not my wife, but yeah.
I saw it. I saw that.
Honey doesn't like all that kind of stuff.
I did not start 24 Legacy, but I do want to watch that because it looks really good.
Oh, I watched Victoria.
Oh, we watched that. We're a couple
I also
behind.
watched The Crown. Oh, that was good.
I haven't started The Crown yet. It's on Netflix, right? Yeah, we do watch Victoria because we saw it on Masterpiece.
Yeah.
Terry and I watched Taboo.
What the heck is that?
Taboo on FX. I watch anything with Tom Hardy.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Who is that guy?
Tom Hardy.
Oh, he's my favorite. Oh, I did watch that.
Yeah, Taboo. Yeah, on FX.
Oh,
fact, we still have to watch
awesome.
the finale. We've seen everything but the finale.
Surely I've seen the finale. That's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks old now. You've probably seen it by now.
I don't know because I was behind. Oh my gosh.
Which the OJ documentary, is that what you were talking about?
I have watched that, yeah, but
I've not seen the Made in America. I've not seen that one. I saw the show with Cuba Gooding Jr. I watched that. Alone. Are you still watching Alone?
Wait, Taboo must not be on. That must not be a Netflix show because it's
not. It's FX.
Oh, okay. Well, I have FX too, so
yeah.
Oh boy, I get to watch the last episode.
Yeah, I've not seen it yet. Interesting.
By the way, O.J. Simpson was so guilty. Gosh. Like one of his friends was talking about us all nervous because of the gloves, right?
Right.
So he was like, what am I going to do? And the guy goes, just don't take your diabetes medicine or whatever it was. Your hands always swell when you do that. He goes, oh yeah, you're right.
That's true. I've never heard that.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, that's exactly what he did. He did all that. Anyway, it was pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. All right, buddy. Well, I'm going to let you go. I got some production stuff to do and watch the last episode of Taboo, maybe, if that's up.
Okay.
Oh, wait a second. Talk about something really quick. I don't care what. What else have you seen?
What else have we seen? We watched, tried to watch The Take with Idris Elba and Richard Madden from Game of Thrones, and I fell asleep. I don't know if I was just tired or what, but it just wasn't that good.
Yeah. Are you an anonymous moose who keeps getting in our, is your mouse on like right above the spoiler alert on our document?
No, I'm not even on that page.
Well, there's an anonymous moose. I'm not sure how they would have gotten on.
Now my cursor is right above spoiler alert.
Well, then that's it. You're an
Well,
anonymous moose.
I thought you asked if I was doing stuff.
Anonymous moose.
Okay, I just moved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
How is that? Why am I?
All right,
anonymous?
everybody. That's all I've got. How about you, Dave?
That's it. I'm good.
All right, because used to be you would go, no, I ain't got anything else. But I do want to say, yeah, but you don't do that anymore. See you, everybody.
See ya.
What?
Nothing. I was going to thank Gracie for letting me use her temporary room. So say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. See you, everybody.
Bye.